All right, and we are hot. So welcome back, I guess. Second stream in 2 days. Since we're gonna be getting after it here. But looking to get ready to go here on Monday Night Football. We got the Vikings heading down to Chicago to take on the Bears. Of course, last game of Week 1. So it should be a good one. I feel like you've got a bunch of storylines here. Obviously, J.J. McCarthy getting his Vikings debut. And then you have Ben Johnson, the new head coach, making the in-division move after being the offensive coordinator of the Detroit Lions. And obviously taking over Caleb Williams. Of course, will be his first year with a new system. We'll see if he can break the kind of cycle that the Bears seem to have been going through recently of, kind of going through of, having a quarterback for a year, firing their head coach, giving the quarterback another year or two before drafting a new guy after ruining the previous quarterback and then repeating that cycle. I think it's definitely going to be an interesting one. I feel like after yesterday, I feel like I shouldn't be thinking that this game is going to be a bit more of a defensive battle because that's where apologies for that kind of scraping. We're using an ottoman from the streaming stuff. So, yeah, we're figuring it out as we go. Again, defensive, like a little bit lower scoring than some games we've seen recently. Of course, you had the absolute chaos last night. That was Ravens versus Bills, which very happy to see the Bills come away with that win. But the kick is away here. Vikings will receive, taking from the goal line on the near side up to the 10, the 15. The 20 shot the tackle, will get up to the 25, and that's as far as he'll go. So we'll get our first look now at J.J. McCarthy. 27-1 record as starter at Michigan. Tore his right meniscus last year after being the 10th overall pick in the 2024 draft. And again, first time we're going to see him out on the field. And Vikings come out here in a 2 tight end set. Of course, Vikings also missing Jordan Addison, serving a suspension here. McCarthy going to go under center start, motion into single back deuce. So tight end either side, wide receiver other side. Aaron Jones, the single back. McCarthy takes snap, toss to Jones, running right. Going to be met in the backfield, but sheds a tackler. Going to get past the line of scrimmage, but only going to pick up one. It's Stevenson on the stop there for the Bears. And already a little bit of discussions as refs head over. Maybe giving a bit of warnings, not wanting to get chippy too early with it, of course, being a divisional matchup. So Jalen Naylor gets the start as wide receiver 2. Of course, Adam Thielen recently traded back to the Vikings from the Carolina Panthers. Going to be some names to watch. And, of course, Justin Jefferson, T.J. Hawkinson. 2 big targets to keep an eye on in this one. Going to be tough for the Bears offense to contain. It's actually going to be 2nd and 7 here on the broadcast. I think it's closer to 2nd and 8. McCarthy doing a check of the line. Same formation. McCarthy takes snap, fakes the handoff, rolling to his right, going to dump it off. That's 84, who's going to shed a tackle up over the 30, going to pick up, we'll call it 5 or 6 yards there. That'll make it 3rd down and 2 as McCarthy gets his first completion as a Minnesota Viking. As if you'll excuse me, I need to pull up depth charts here because I don't know people on either of these rosters. Depth chart Vikings. I need our lads. But 3rd down and 2 now on the opening drive. McCarthy going to be out of shotgun this time. Bunch trips to the near side. Wide receiver, one of those wide receivers now going in motion to the far side. So it'll be 2 wide receivers either side. It's Jefferson and Thielen in the near side. Bears showing blitz. They'll drop out, rush 4. McCarthy looking, surveying, going to try to escape, going to get wrapped up, and he'll get sacked for a 1-yard loss. And the Bears defense comes up big on this first drive for the Vikings. As McCarthy unable to get away. Credit for the sack. Who is that going to be? It's going to be 99 for the Bears. So again, I would let you know who that is if I could see the back of his jersey. I also need to pull up the Bears depth chart. Because again, I don't know, but it's going to be the Vikings punting unit here. So Ryan Wright going to be punting away to Devin Duvernay. Snap is back and punt is away. Good punt, going to be fielded at about the 16-yard line. Brief bobble, but Duvernay is away up over the 30, up on the near side, 35. Going to be working through some tacklers and going to make it to the 34-yard line before he's taken down. And that's going to give us our first look at this Ben Johnson Bears offense now. Of course, Caleb Williams making his way out last season, went 5-12, 3,500 yards, 20 touchdowns, 6 picks. I think the big stat coming in here is that 68 sacks that he took, which is a mammoth amount, tied for third in the Super Bowl era. And of course, took 28 sacks after 5+ seconds, most in the NFL last year. But Williams going to be out of shotgun here. Wide receiver coming in motion, takes a snap, looking left, gonna pump, gonna roll back to his right, gonna fire, complete. That's to number 4. I believe that's DeAndre Swift, it is, who's gonna scamper forward, dodge a tackler, and pick up about 3 yards there. A couple of names to look out for: Colston Loveland, the rookie out of Michigan, and Cole Kmet at tight end. Additionally, you got DJ Moore and Rome Dunze in there at wide receiver. And a massively retooled offensive line. So we'll see how they hold up throughout this game. Williams going to go under center here. Going to take the snap. It's going to be play action. He's going to roll his left, dodge the sack. He's going to be looking back to his left, going to be firing complete again to Swift. He's going to dodge a tackle. He's going to pick up a first down as he gets up just past midfield. And that'll be good enough for a Bears first down. So great job there from Caleb Williams to first evade the sack and then find his running back on what was a very broken down screenplay, and great work from Swift as well to manage to pick up the first down here. Williams under center once again. I'm still thinking of Fields from yesterday. Odunze in motion, going to be a toss, going to be running up the middle once again is Swift. Going to be hit fairly quickly, going to be taken down after about 3.5. Pace was in there. I believe that's Andrew Van Ginkel as well, number 43, in on the tackle for the Vikings. And I think, if I remember correctly, the big question for the Vikings here is going to be that secondary. I remember in the lead up to the draft, that was something that was brought up that they needed to address. But in fact, they did it. Didn't Williams checking the line? You got 3 wide receivers, tight formation, but 3 potential wide receivers to the near side. Single back is Kyle Monungai. Williams drops back, going to be complete to Monungai over the middle, up over the 40, down to about the 35 before he is taken down. And once again, that's another Bears first down, as this Bears offense starting to get a little bit of momentum. Excuse me, I need a snack. Definitely need a snack on a little bit of this watermelon here. And again, great protection here early for the Bears. I think the Vikings playing a little bit safe here. It looked like it was quarters there for the Vikings. Bears take snap. Williams looking over the middle, complete. That's for DJ Moore, who gets his first grab of the game. I believe complete up over the 30. I think it's for 6 yards there, so I believe it should be second down and 4. It was Blake Cashman on the stop. And so Chicago moving pretty quickly here. It was a pick up 6, so second and 4, 9:44 left to go in the first. Offset eye look now for Chicago. Wide receiver coming in motion now to the near side. Williams takes snap, hands it off, running right, going to be met in the backfield and taken down. He'll, I think, just about get back to the line of scrimmage. That's number 58 for Minnesota. That is Jonathan Grenard making the tackle for loss. And so they'll call it 3rd down and 5 now, as Grenard doing a nice job getting around the right tackle of Chicago in order to make that play. So that'll make it 3rd down and 5. So what will Ben Johnson be scheming up here is going to be a big question. Williams out of the gun. Right receiver going in motion to the far side of the field. And Bears going to have to take time out here as the play clock was winding down. Not a great start having to take that early timeout on their first drive in order to avoid a potential delay of game penalty that'll come with 8 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in the first quarter. So a little bit of a miscommunication there, as they were just not quite able to get underway. If I'm not mistaken, this Bears offensive line, I believe Darnell Wright and Braxton Jones, the only members of the Bears offensive line last year that are making a return. So it's going to be interesting to see how, again, Bears offensive line has looked good early. Obviously just had that tackle for loss on 2nd down and 4. But we're going to have to wait and see. But Williams lining up in the shotgun once again. Takes a snap quickly. 2-step drop, looking to his right. Going to be scrambling now to his right. Going to continue to survey. Going to fire. That looked to be complete for Rome Odunze. Did he come down with it? He did. It's going to be good for about, I think, 12 yards there. And Bears going to go hurry up here. We'll see exactly if Odunze came down with it as we look at the replay. Got that left foot down. And I think he did just about get that right foot down before that left knee goes down out of bounds as he was sliding to make the catch. Williams takes snap, looking left, firing, complete. That's the number 14. 14 is Olamide Zacchaeus, who's going to pick up about 7. Again, great catch there from Odunze, and good work from Caleb Williams being able to extend that play. Blake Cashman right there to try and make the sack. And Odunze doing a great job to come down with it, get both feet down in bounds. And the Bears offense continuing to roll. It's now 2nd down and 3 as we cross under 8 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. DeAndre Swift back in the game as a single back. Caleb Williams 6 of 6 for 51 yards already. Once again, tight formation. And now I think it's the Vikings who we're going to call an early timeout here, as Kevin O'Connell didn't like how that looked. And quite frankly, this Bears offense is looking really good. Bears are one of 3 teams without an opening drive touchdown last season. One of the others was Pittsburgh, so that makes my heart full of appreciation to the team that we had last year, which of course was a great change this year as we were able to march down the field and score a touchdown yesterday. But Bears only 27 points in the first quarter last season, fewest since 1937. Let's see if they can change that here. It's going to be 2nd and 3 from just behind the 6. It's going to be offset I this time for the Bears. Offset to the near side. Tight end now in motion to the near side. Will remain tight to the formation. Williams takes a snap. It's going to be Swift running left. Going to be met in the backfield again and tackled. This one's going to be a loss of 2. That's number 50 on the tackle. That's, I believe, Levi Drake Rodriguez. Additionally, actually, they're highlighting number 15 there, Dallas Turner, as being the big playmaker. And yeah, it was Davis Turner doing a great job at setting that edge and buying Levi Rodriguez a little bit of time there to make that tackle. Tight end Komet kind of gun in motion, going to head back to the far side though. Williams in the gun, running back to his right. 4-man rush for the Vikings. Williams dancing around the pocket, going to scramble to his left. Going to take off running. Going to get to the 5, going to bang through a man, and Caleb Williams is into the end zone for the first Bears touchdown of the season. And just like that, it is 6-0 Chicago, and Ben Johnson engineering his first touchdown drive of the year on a 9-yard Caleb Williams rushing touchdown. And the Bears breaking that streak of no first drive touchdowns as they go 10 plays, 61 yards in 5 minutes and 41 seconds. And Caleb Williams is excited there on the sideline, as was the majority of that Bears offense on their way over to the sideline. Of course, PAT still pending here. Lined up. And snap, hold, kick. And it's going to be right through. And with 7:04 remaining in the first quarter, it will be 7-0 Chicago Bears after one possession for each team as Caleb Williams barreling right through that Minnesota corner. And we'll head to our first commercial break of this game with the Bears up 7-0. And that gives me time to set up some other stuff. But again, tasty guys. There we go. That should hopefully be something at least. Also, I can't close my windows, so you might occasionally hear a car horn. I cannot control that. Again, apologies for any pasty whiteness as well. If I could control that and not burn, absolutely would, but say la vie. But definitely an impressive first drive there from Ben Johnson's offense. I think definitely going to be interesting to see how a lot of this continues to play out. Excuse me, I'm actually going to go get my phone. One sec. I do need, I'm going to grab my phone and have some more for the depth chart, I think. I just have to bring in the battery pack because I am out of wall space, which tells you how good I am at setting all this stuff up. But yeah, again, getting underway here. We'll have to see if the Vikings offense can formulate a response here. But at least on those first drives of the game, Bears offense looked really good, as well as that Bears defense. So I think that's going to be an interesting thing to try and keep an eye on here. As we are coming out of commercial now. So we're going to get back underway. And again, 7-0 Bears, 7:04 left to go here in the first. And J.J. McCarthy going to have to get his second shot at potentially engineering a touchdown drive. So let's see what Kevin O'Connell can potentially scheme together now. As we are lined up. First opening drive touchdown for the Bears in their last 12 games against the Vikings. So the kick is away, going to skip and be fielded just inside the one, going to be up over the 10 to the 15 on the near side. 20 going to be knocked down just shy of the 25-yard line. And the Bears special teams getting excited as well. It was number 92 for Chicago in there on the tackle. As Miles Price getting knocked down rather quickly. On that tackle there, it was Daniel Hardy making a very nice stop. So again, going to be all to do here for this Vikings offense as they try to engineer something. Going to be working from their own 24, 6:59 to go in the first. McCarthy running back either side, receiver coming in motion to the near side now. McCarthy takes a snap, looking right, going to go back, or looking left, going to go back to his right. Justin Jefferson with the reception, going to be able to get forward and going to be able to pick up about 4 or 5 yards there before he's knocked out of bounds. So that'll make it about 2nd down and 6 as Justin Jefferson gets on the board. Over 1,500 yards last season and already looking to match that total. So Vikings going to line up here 2nd down and 6. McCarthy under center this time. Trips bunch to the near side, tight to the formation. McCarthy, check at the line. It is Aaron Jones, the single back. Going to take a snap, running right. Going to try and cut back to the left. Going to try and fall forward, but only going to pick up about a yard there. As the Bears really rallying to the ball well here. I think it's going to be Dayo Odeyingbo credited with the tackle there. So again, going to be a tricky situation here for the Vikings. 3rd down and 4. Going to be 3 wide receivers in the near side. Running back lined up to McCarthy's right. Bears showing pressure here. Going to be dropping out. So showing too high at the snap. Will the Bears bring heat here? Wide receiver in motion, coming to bunch. Going to be still a 4-man rush for the Bears. McCarthy standing in there, going to escape, but going to get tripped up as he tried to get forward, and that's going to go down as a sack. It's going to be Gervon Dexter Sr., who I think will be credited for the sack. I'm not sure if McCarthy could quite get past The line there will be a loss of 2, so that will go down as the second Chicago sack of the game. And this Vikings O-line having a lot of issues early as, just McCarthy unable to get away before getting tripped up. And the play gets blown dead. So 2 quick 3-and-outs for this Minnesota offense is not a great sign. And the punt here is away, so Chicago will have an opportunity to take back over. Going to be fielded at the 18 on the far hash. Going to be cut up the inside. Going to shed a tackle. Going to dodge another one, but only going to get up as far as the 24.5-yard line before he's taken down by a host of Vikings tacklers. So with 4:51 left in the quarter, we're going to go back to the Bears offense. And again, this could be a situation that could have the threat of, hey, if the Bears go up 14-0 here, I think there's an opportunity that we could be looking at another blowout here in the NFC North. But once again, we're going to commercial, and that lets me snack a little bit more. But definitely not great for the Vikings so far. I needed this watermelon, goddamn. Got some vitamin water here too, but again, we'll see how this pans out. I think this is a little bit of scouting as well, because of course Steelers will end up playing both of these teams. Of course, got my terrible towel up there. Don't need it near me since Steelers are not playing tonight. Gonna be definitely, I think, gonna be an interesting watch. Hoping it's a good game, but Vikings just shaky early. I don't think J.J. McCarthy's looked bad. I just don't think he's had an opportunity to potentially even try and stretch the field. But it's still a lot of time to go. But we'll wait to see. I'll probably go to watermelon chasing. I don't know as well if the mic is picking up pretty too much. I hope it isn't. Okay, no, that just snapped. Because basically I'm looking at OBS. That's how I'm trying to figure a lot of this out. And so I don't want to be a complete nuisance if anybody jumps in here randomly. It's like, oh hey, what's happening here? But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Of course, looking at some of the Super Bowl 20 celebrations. Bears over the Patriots in that one. We are back out of commercial. And so, Bears going to be taking back over here. Again, 4:51 left to go in the first. But I think big confidence here for the Chicago Bears. Williams going to go under center here. Again, 6 of 6 for 51 yards and a 9-yard rushing touchdown on that one. Wide receiver in motion to the near side. Going to fake the handoff. Going to be dumping off to his right to Swift. He's going to dance around, but only get as far as the line of scrimmage. Van Ginkel quickly. That's a bit of a tongue twister. Van Ginkel quickly closes down. Makes that stop. It's going to be no gain. As that'll quickly bring up 2nd down and 10. And so I think Minnesota trying to change the story here. Take a look quickly at Brian Flores, the Vikings defensive coordinator, over on the sideline. Williams at a shotgun here. 3 wide receivers to the far side. It's going to be DeAndre Swift lined up to his right. Williams takes snap, 4-man rush for the Vikings. Williams going to step up, going to, again, dance around the pocket. Avea Rusher going to be scrambling up the middle, going to be over the 30, going to slide down as he picks up a first down over the 35 to the 37-yard line. And Williams using some of that mobility now to get away and just extend plays a little bit. And again, just that little bit of dancing around the pocket, able to open up that room. And if you're the Vikings, I feel like you got to start looking to throw a QB spy in there with some of the mobility that Williams is showing here. Sorry, 12-yard rush there. Gets Williams up to 21 yards on the day. And, of course, a perfect 7 of 7 for 52 yards, 324, 323. Left to go in the first. Williams takes snap, running up the middle is number 2 there. That is DJ Moore. DJ Moore was the single back there taking the handoff, and so he'll barrel forward. I believe it's a pickup of about 4. That's going to be a pickup of 5. Apologies. So it's going to be second down and 5 as DJ Moore surprisingly getting the handoff there. Ben Johnson showing a bit more of an interesting look. So we'll see, again, very interesting look there. Bears now lining up in the I formation. Going to motion out of it. They're going to bunch 2 tight ends and a wide receiver now to the near side of the formation. And that's going to be a false start on the Bears. That's the right tackle jumping. That's Darnell Wright who did jump there. So that'll make it second down and 10 as we get our first flag of the game here with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in the first. This has been a pretty quick first quarter. Clock going to continue to roll now. But again, second down and 10, so it'll wipe out that 5-yard run from DJ Moore. Williams this time going to be in the shotgun. It's going to be Colston and Loveland in motion to the far side of the offensive line. Williams takes a snap, looking left, looking back to the right, going to again try and escape, going to be thrown over the middle. Loveland bobbles it a little bit, but able to come away with it. He'll scramble forward and still pick up about 7 or 8 yards there before getting knocked down by Isaiah Rogers. So Bears doing a nice job being able to turn it into a short yardage situation. Nice little zig route and good focus there from Loveland to still be able to come away with the ball. I believe the 11th or 12th overall pick in this draft. And as that throw, was a little bit behind him. Full speed looked a bit quicker. Going to be a quick screen out to the left, but it's going to be behind Dunze. And Isaiah Rogers will get there to take him down. And it's going to bring up fourth down at about 5 here. So that's a 3-yard loss. Not a great pass there as Dunze going to end up losing 3. And we'll get our first look at the Bears punting unit in this one. Yeah, that's a good stop for the Minnesota Vikings. There's going to be a loss of 4 there. Going to bring up 4th and 6. And so Price going to be back to receive the kick. It's going to be Torrey Taylor punting it away. I know kind of the new punt, I don't want to say new punt god because that sounds weird, but the punt is away and away cleanly. Looks like it's not going to be fielded and it's going to go out of bounds. A little bit of John and a little bit of shoving after the play as that jawing was going on. Walker and Hicks now going at it. Number 24 for the Vikings, number 22 for the Bears. It's going to be 58 seconds left to go in the first. We'll see where they end up spotting it. I imagine it'll be somewhere around the 20. Actually, it won't. We're about to go, I think, to a quick commercial break here before the end of the first. Yeah, and we will, as Kevin O'Connell was talking real quick with J.J. McCarthy over on the sideline. So 4th Minnesota drive of the day will be coming up. 3rd Minnesota drive of the day coming up here. We'll see if it can go any better than those first 2 ended up going. We're going to go ahead and do this, and do this, and do this. There we go. But again, I'm just doing this because I enjoy it. I'm going to be watching this game anyways. Might as well do some commentary for it. We can chill out, see if anybody drops by. I don't think I put tags on this, did I? Let's change that. Gives me because I did have to kind of rush back to get this going. Let's see, tags. There we go. Bears, Vikings, Monday night football, Bears versus Vikings. There we go. We're figuring these things out as we go. I did have to kind of rush back and set up the last little bit of this stream in the last 15 minutes or so before kickoff. Just having to getting a quick gym in and having to pick up a couple of things from this store. I don't know why it's just me in here, so I could just not talk during the commercials, but Oh, yeah, if somebody swings by, I feel like dead air, I feel like dead air can just sit. But, yeah, I don't know. But Vikings going to be going back to work here. 58 seconds left to go in the quarter. And only 11 yards so far and 2 sacks conceded for the Vikings. As the Bears defense looking very stout here in the early stages. I guess I do have kind of a purple vitamin water here. I did pick the Vikings, so 3 wide receivers going to be bunched to the near side. Under center is McCarthy, going to be a toss running to the near side to the left. Going to be good for about 6 yards there. And that is Mason. Who is that? That is Jordan Mason. I believe the former Niner. Doing a nice pickup. Also very nice blocking from the Minnesota Vikings. Thielen doing a nice job setting the edge, as was TJ Hawkinson. Tackle made by number 44 on Chicago. Didn't quite catch who that was. McCarthy going to go under center once again. Jefferson going to come in motion in the near side. Going to be a handoff up the middle once again to Jordan Mason, who is going to pick up a first down, get up over the 30. And the Vikings finally rolling with their first down of the day. And that will bring us to the end of the first quarter with your score. Chicago 7, Minnesota nothing. We'll see if Minnesota can get some sort of a response going. But I think, been all Chicago in this first quarter. And we'll see if any of that momentum can be changed. Nope, I don't have caps lock on. Let's change that. There we go. We are fixed. But, again, back to commercial here. But we'll see if this can improve at all for Minnesota. If they can get rid of that goose egg, but it gives me another chance to hydrate. Of course, not sponsored. Way too small. Not going to have any potential sponsors for a long time. But, yeah. Oh. Definitely good to hydrate here. But yeah, again, 7-0. Was a pretty quick first quarter. How long? Only about half an hour. So, went by pretty quickly. And, I think a lot of, interesting kind of happenings throughout this first weekend. Of course, heavy, insane Bills come back from down like 15 with, 5 minutes left to go in the game. And, of course, you're not going to hear me complaining about a Ravens loss as they manage to get knocked. Okay, you can tell it's a Monday night because I am continuously really not making sense. So, I don't know. It happens now and again. But, yeah. Again, we'll wait and see how some of this continues to play out. I think Caleb Williams has looked pretty strong. Outside of that one mistake there on 3rd down on the Bears' most recent drive, which Caleb Williams, I still think doesn't have an incompletion because that last pass was caught. It was just going backwards. But yeah, Kevin O'Connell in his 4th season as Minnesota head coach, definitely going to be looking for a better showing out of his offense here as we look to open up this second quarter. And I think, I don't think McCarthy has looked bad. I think was under a lot of pressure on both of those 3rd downs where he took the sack. I don't think taking those sacks either were really his fault. On 3 dropbacks, he's 1 of 1 for 5 yards. And, of course, has taken 2 of those sacks. He'll fall back in shotgun here, empty set, 3 wide receivers to the near side. McCarthy takes a snap, surveying, 4-man rush for the and McCarthy going to go deep down the left-hand side and going to draw a pass interference there. Aaron Jones deep down that left-hand side. Ball looked to be a little bit underthrown, but it's going to be number 26 of Chicago who is going to get flagged for that. We're taking a look here. And yeah, okay. Yeah, he got in there early. It's a little bit underthrown was that ball, but I think he still got the push in there a little bit early. I think a bit of a veteran sell there by Aaron Jones as well. But again, that was number 26, Nashawn Wright. Of course, deputizing for the injured Jalen Johnson, who's going to be picking up that penalty there. Dennis Allen, the Bears defensive coordinator, which is kind of surprising considering his less than stellar stint in New Orleans with the Saints as their head coach. But McCarthy in the shotgun now, running back to either side, going to take the snap, going to fake the handoff, going to now step up in the pocket, try to scramble, and this time he'll escape up over the 20 down to the Chicago 16. Is that penalty massive? Basically putting the Vikings in the red zone, and the Vikings picking up their second first down of the day. Of course, they'll be still looking to get more offensive yards than being a benefit of getting penalty yards there. As Nashawn Wright was the one who picked up that penalty there. McCarthy now under center. Going to take a snap. Going to be handoff up the middle. Going to fall forward here, up over between the 11 and the 12. We'll call it the 11 and a half with the carry by... Forgot the name already. We'll learn eventually. Jordan Mason picking up 5 yards there and make it second down and 5. The clock continues to trail away here in the second. But seeing a lot of Jordan Mason here, as I think Minnesota playing a little bit of the hot hand. I think you'd expect to see a little bit more Aaron Jones. McCarthy quick check at the line. Under center, though. Going to take a snap. Going to once again hand it off to Mason. Running left this time. He's not going to get back to the line. He's going to be stacked up 2.5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And so it'll bring up now 3rd down and 7. Trying to see a number to see specifically who made the stop there. They're showing number 49, Tremaine Edmonds there, as the one who ended up making the stop, as he came through basically unblocked, just not great blitz recognition or recognition there from the left guard of Minnesota. I believe it's Joe Huber, who I believe here, if I'm remembering this right, Joe Huber's injured. Blake Brandel, maybe? But 3 wide receivers in the near side. McCarthy in the gun, takes the snap, looking right, firing, complete. No, incomplete, looking for Jefferson. Was right at the first down marker. But a bit low and going to be incomplete. It's going to bring up 4th down and 8 here with 12:51. It was McLeod on the coverage for Chicago. Taking a quick look at the replay to see, did Jefferson come away with it? He did not. It did just slip right through his hands as one of the top wide receivers in the league. Just definitely a very tricky pass to try and come away with, but ultimately just unable to secure it. We're taking a look as well here. Jalen Naylor drawing double coverage, allowing that. But field goal attempt now for Minnesota. The kick is up from 31 yards, and the kick is good. So Minnesota gets up on the board on their 3rd drive here. And just like that, it is 7-3 in Chicago. And like that, we'll go to break with 12:48 left to go here in the second quarter. Again, I think, definitely a good showing there for the Minnesota Vikings offense. Of course, benefited greatly from that penalty, and you would have preferred to walk away with more points. But, ultimately, I don't think that's too bad. We'll have to see how some of that kind of continues to work here. Yeah, I feel like during these commercial breaks, I don't know if it's just like again, I feel like I'm recording myself, I'm recording commentary. I feel like, especially since I don't have the benefit of commercials, I should be talking a little bit more during some of these breaks. But at the same time, I don't know. But I guess looking ahead, I'm definitely going to be trying to do Monday Night Football again next week. Who is, let's see, let's check I guess we'll take a look at some of the scores around the league, just for my benefit. Of course, I guess we'll go after that kind of first slate. So I guess starting from the top, of course, Eagles over the Cowboys on Thursday, Chargers defeating the Chiefs on Friday, Colts defeating the Dolphins. And I think from what I was hearing, the Dolphins look really bad in that one. My Steelers, of course, over the New York Jets by 2 points. Jags defeating the Panthers in a long one, of course, extended by a rain delay. Cardinals, I think, unsurprisingly, over the Saints. I think the surprise there was that was only a 7-point game and a little bit of a defensive shootout. Defensive shootout? What are words? All right, yeah, I am losing my mind. We definitely got to go to sleep early today. But caffeine is wearing off. Commanders over the Giants, 21-6, and I think definitely surprising to hear Russell Wilson already potentially falling out of favor with Brian Dable after a first outing. Bucks over the Falcons, 23-20. Bengals over the Browns, only by 1 though, 17-16. Raiders over the Pats, 20-13. Was the last one in that early slate. But coming out of commercial here, Bears about to get the ball back. 12:48 left to go in the second. Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. Again, I feel like that's something that I should figure out here is timeouts. I don't know. I kind of like this the scoreboard we got here being a little bit more simplistic. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. But kick is away and going to be fielded just past the far hash at the goal line, up over the 10, the 15, cut it back to the near side, up over the 20, up over the 25, flag thrown, 30, going to be knocked out of bounds at the 34-yard line. As Duvernay, another nice return. We'll see if it stands here. And still waiting to see exactly what the penalty is for. It's going to be a legal formation on Minnesota here. So it's going to be Nate McLeod called for an illegal formation. So an extra, I believe, 5 yards on the end of that run. So I'll let this Bears offense, which has looked pretty good, I'll let them start up at the 39. As I assume what we just saw in the replay was that he left too soon. Ultimately, I'm not sure. Boo Williams, 9-9 for 56 yards, 21 rushing yards on the day. Going to be alone in shotgun here. 3 wide receivers to the far side. 4-man rush for Minnesota. Williams scanning, firing to his right. Going to be complete. DJ Moore up over into Vikings territory. Up over the 40, shots the tackler. 35, going to go down at the 31-yard line. But a big first play there for this Chicago offense as Caleb Fields continues to be very efficient here and finds his top receiver. Just finds that little hitch in the zone. And yeah, going to field that, make a man miss. That was 26 for Minnesota with a chance to bring him down that little bit earlier, but was unable to do so. Williams going to change the formation here. It's going to be DJ Moore now lined up as the single back, I believe. Actually, no, I believe that's still DeAndre Swift. No, that is DJ Moore, the single back, but this time going to be tackled down for only 1 yard. It's going to be number 55 for Minnesota there on the tackle. That was Eric Wilson making the stop. Caleb Williams, of course, 10 straight completions to open up this game. Longest streak since the 70s, which I think shows you, how much of a drain Bears quarterbacks have been. But yeah, 10 of 10, 86 yards, 21 rushing yards, and a rushing touchdown so far. So anybody taking him in fantasy going to be pretty happy right now. DJ Moore going to go in motion to the far side, running back lined up to Caleb Williams' left. And I think Bears going to be flagged for a false start here. And it is going to be DJ Moore being called for the false start. So I think we're seeing some of those growing pains from getting used to this Ben Johnson offense for the Bears. I believe it's the second false start we've seen from them so far today. So again, that'll push them back to a second down and 13 here as we cross under 11 minutes to go in the half. Bears now working from the Minnesota 35. Williams in shotgun, running back lined up to his left, 2 wide receivers to the near side. Williams takes a snap, Five-man rush for Minnesota. Williams going to escape the pressure. Now going to roll to the near side. Going to, again, evade a blitzer. Going to spin and get up over the 30, down to about the 29. We'll see. I think they're going to give him a pretty generous marking there, all the way down to 27. But Williams showed some really nice mobility in evading a lot of these tacklers. Just getting that, being able to extend that play, playing with a lot of confidence. And that will still make it third down, but a much more manageable third down here. As really nice job from Williams. Evades the blitzer by moving to his right, comes back to the left, and then able to pick up a very nice gain. As it was number 0 for Minnesota, almost picking up the sack. Ivan Pace almost doing so, and that's going to be another false start for the Bears here. As again, a bunch of struggles. That time it was number 70. They're going to call it on 73, but it was both the right tackle and the right guard for the Chicago Bears who jumped there. It was Jonah Jackson and Darnell Wright who are going to get flagged. Actually, sorry, they did call it on Jonah Jackson, the right guard. The 4 penalties, 57 yards for the Bears so far in this one. So that's going to be something that definitely needs to be cleaned up. But that'll make it third down and 11. 9:48, 9:47, 9:46 left to go in the half. Williams out of shotgun, running back to his right. Komet going to go in motion, but going to head back to the far side. Going to be a handoff, running right, going to be up the middle is DeAndre Swift, who is going to pick up a nice 8-yard gain there, but not going to be off. He's going to be tackled. It's going to make it fourth down and 3. And it looks like the Bears are going to go for it here. So we're seeing some of that aggressiveness that Ben Johnson may be bringing from the Detroit Lions. Of course, we've seen them go for these fourth downs numerous times. The Bears' play clock is winding down, so they're going to have to get to the line quickly. Fourth down and 3 from the Minnesota 24. And we're going to have a timeout for Chicago here as, the play clock was winding down. So we'll see if Chicago does end up going for it now. But second timeout now taken by the Bears. Once again, let's me hydrate. I did set it to second quarter. We are good. Bears looking for their first winning season since 2018. First playoff win since all the way back in 2010. So over a decade and a half since the last time Chicago has seen a playoff victory in the NFL. I can't speak to, I assume the Blackhawks, the White Sox, no. But Williams takes snap, empty set, looking, firing over the middle, incomplete. Looking for DJ Moore. But going to be a turnover on downs here for Chicago. As a miscommunication there between the quarterback and his wide receiver. And Minnesota going to be taking back over as Williams letting go of that ball very quickly. Just overthrew his man. Unable to connect. With 8:55 here in the second. That'll give Minnesota the ball back with potentially a chance to take the lead. We'll see if J.J. McCarthy was able to pick up any momentum there from that first drive. Oh, I needed that. But I think definitely been interesting opening parts of the game. Definitely, I don't know, I feel like based on what we've seen, the game's been, I feel like Chicago should definitely have more points just kind of based on how this game has flowed throughout this kind of opening chunk of play. I think there's still a lot to kind of consider as this continues. The Minnesota offense has looked kind of shaky. And I don't think that's really down to how J.J. McCarthy has played. I think J.J. McCarthy has looked decent. I think he's just been under been facing a lot of pressure. Obviously had that misconnection with Justin Jefferson. I think you'd expect Jefferson normally to be able to come away with a ball like that, but just was too low for him to be able to do anything with it. And that would be a really big first down for the Vikings. Of course, they had to settle for 3. But I do think they're the beneficiary of more penalty yards than they have actual yards right now. So I think that's definitely going to be something they're going to be wanting to change. But we are in commercial as of right now. I'm going to be looking to get back underway. It's weird that I'm saying this about a Ben Johnson football game. But the Steelers and Jets have more points than this at this point, man. It's definitely me. It's definitely me talking a little bit of crap. But even though I shouldn't, because we only barely beat the Jets, we are coming out of commercial here as well. But 8:55 here as we head back to Soldier Field. Yeah, looking at the quarterbacks tonight, J.J. McCarthy, 1 of 2 for 5 yards, 11 yards rushing. Caleb Williams, 10 of 11 for 86 yards, 30 rushing yards. Of course, that incompletion on 4th down was his first one, but it was a big one, and we'll see if that changes the momentum. Jordan Mason, the single back, McCarthy under center. We'll see if they continue to go back to that run game, which seemed to have a little bit of success. Running back in motion to the far side, going to be the jet sweep, going to be sussed out pretty quickly, and he's going to only pick up about 2 yards there. It's going to be Aaron Jones who got the sweep there. It was number 44, Sewell, whose first name I will find here in just a moment. Number 44 is, so that way I can appropriately name you, Noah Sewell, forcing him out of bounds. But yeah, seeing a showdown of two of 2024's first round quarterbacks. I don't think we'll see one of this year's. McCarthy takes snap, looking over the middle, firing complete. Up over the 30 as TJ Hawkinson gets on the board. It's going to be a pickup of 4 to make it. I think it's about 3rd down and 4 here. Yeah, 3rd down and 4. But Hawkinson doing a nice job getting on the board as the tight end sees his first action. I think just trying to maybe build some of J.J. McCarthy's confidence a little bit. Of course, that's only his 3rd attempted pass, technically, of the game. Of course, sacked twice. Had to scramble that one time as well. Soldier Field getting loud here. McCarthy in shotgun. 3 wide receivers in the near side. Bears showing blitz at the line. Jefferson coming in motion. Bears going to bring 4. McCarthy in the pocket. Fires over the middle. Complete to Jefferson, who is going to be stood up just short. It's going to be 4th down. I think half a yard here. I believe that was Justin Jefferson with that reception over the middle. That's going to bring it 4th down and 1. And a little bit surprisingly here, considering the distance, as Bears bring in a nice sim pressure package, able to hurry McCarthy. He got a man of 12 to 15 yards downfield on the left-hand side that he could have gotten that ball to right along the sideline, but felt he had to dump it off to Jefferson. And for the 3rd time today, we're going to see Ryan Wright out after a Minnesota Vikings 3 and out here. 4th and 1, Ryan Wright, and the punt is away here. So lots of action for the Vikings punter. This one going to go out of bounds here, just short of, I think, at around the 35. So 6:52. Cleveland. Why am I thinking this is Cleveland? It's Chicago. Okay, I feel like I say Cleveland because I feel like it's a funny, similarity between the AFC North and the NFC North. Because, the Packers and Steelers, who I think are historically, you can say that, I think it's, not hard to argue that they're the, historically the best teams in the division. You got the purple team that is that team's biggest rival in the Vikings and the Ravens. You have the cat team who, kind of sucked for a while, but especially recently has made a really nice comeback, really became a contender. And I think, funnily enough, now as well, might be struggling a little bit with some of that success, as having a little bit of a brain and a talent drain. And then you have the orange non-cat team, who was also there, at least as of recent history. We'll see if the Bears can buck that trend. But once again, back to commercial here in the 2nd quarter, as we watch this terrible goddamn float ad. It's just bad. This is bad. like Ride the Train was already like kind of a mess song. But like that's another song that's like, okay, now that thing's gonna be ruined just forever. Because all I'm gonna think about whenever that Ride the Train song comes on now is this terrible NFL float ad that thankfully is now off of my TV screen. But we're hanging out. So yeah, I don't know. But we'll wait and see. Again, gonna wait and see what happens here. But I don't know. Come out of commercial though, and I think that the Bears' offense has generally been pretty good. I think Caleb Williams has been very efficient, especially when under pressure. I think how Caleb Williams' look has been very good. Being able to kind of skate in the pocket, extend plays, and find receivers that way. Even if it's just, hey, I got to dump the ball off to guys real quick, or picking up that scramble and being able to use his mobility, and not having necessarily scheme around Caleb Williams using his mobility, but letting it be that kind of spare weapon in the arsenal. So with 6:52 left in the second quarter, again, going to be 7-3, Chicago going to be taking over from their own 35 here, 1st and 10. Caleb Williams going to be under center here. Going to bring a tackle in. We got a first Ben Johnson tackle eligible play with the Bears as Williams fakes the handoff, going to step up in the pocket, going to be firing, going to be batted down, though, at the line of scrimmage. I believe that was number 90 in there with the deflection. It's Ingram Dawkins. That's Tyrion Ingram Dawkins with the breakup there, doing a nice job getting that big right hand up to knock it down. Yeah, extra, lineman eligible play there. As the Bears going a bit of a maxi block look. And there was, it was one-on-one there on the outside. For some reason, I thought the Vikings were on offense. Bears lining up once again, though. Williams under center. Going to fake the handoff once again. Pressure, though, for the Vikings. Williams escaping to his right. Flag thrown in the backfield. And it's going to be just overthrown as he was looking for Zacchaeus. But again, flag thrown from behind Caleb Williams on that one, and it will be a holding on the Bears. That's another penalty. Kyle Manangai, the running back, in protection there, getting called for a hold. Caleb Williams potentially starting to stretch the field here. And yeah, it's a hold in there. As Pace, once again, that's the second time Vikings actually going to decline the penalty here. As I was saying, that's the second time we've seen Ivan Pace really just kind of blast right down the middle and get pressure on Caleb Williams. That will make it 3rd down and 10. Williams now working out of the gun. Running back lined up to his right. Again, 6:41. Going to be Roman Dunze in motion to the near side and make it 3 wide receivers to the near side. Williams drops, looking, going to be looking around, going to try to escape, and going to somehow shed a sack. Going to high step it here, only going to get up as far, though, as the 36-yard line. And that will bring up 4th down. But Williams almost with a massive loss of yardage there. Who was it that got there? I believe it was Grenard with pressure on the outside. Who was that? That was Allen, who really should have come away with that sack. There was Jonathan Allen, who really should have come away with that sack. Showing a replay right now of him in slow motion, banging the ground, as he should have had that sack. But Torrey Taylor back out for the Bears here. Snap is away, a little bit of pressure in Torrey Taylor's face. But again, the punt is away, going to be fielded at the 15. On the bounce, going to get over the 20 down to about the 23, 24-yard line. And that's where we'll see J.J. McCarthy come back out. On the stop was Daniel Hardy for the Bears. And once again, going to be heading to commercial break. I feel like I'm yapping a lot here. I'm definitely yapping a lot. But, we're figuring it out as we go. Doing little by little. Oh, hold on. I got notifications. It also gives me a chance to, I feel like, essentially with, I feel like, streaming commentary, I feel like it's, it can be chill. Obviously, if you're hanging out in chat, thank you very much. I'm I'm like fairly reasonably I mean, after how Chicago and Minnesota went, I'm reasonably surprised that this game has gone a lot smoother. So I don't know. Again, we'll have to see how a lot of this continues. But yeah, once again in commercial. God, we're seeing a McDonald's ad. Now he wants snack wraps. Damn. Oh, that reminds me. That's like I can go get food. I can go get. Yeah, I got food that I can go get as well because I haven't eaten since I got. Actually, that's a lie. I had that watermelon. That watermelon. I forgot how good watermelon is. But yeah, I got. No, because I had those. Yeah, I got some. I can make a like mock burrito or something at some point. Um, I definitely want to take a look through at some of the stats as we head into halftime. I'm gonna go ahead and yeah, we're doing some tab management here. We're doing all sorts of stuffs. Box score. So we'll get prepped for that as halftime quickly approaching us here. So we'll kind of be prepped and ready for that. I'll set up my depth chart pull-ups so that way I can reference them quickly. All right, Bears run 4-2-5 as their base. I did not know that. Okay. I clicked on somebody by accident and pulled up an Amazon ad. No, Amazon. Fuck you, Amazon. I don't want your stuff right now. Not you, DeMarco Jackson. You're fine. But, again, going to be first down and 10 here. I think Dallas Allen's done a good job scheming for the Chicago Bears. Taking a look at the yards so far, 132 for Chicago, only 45 for Minnesota. J.J. McCarthy, quick check at the line. Play clock is winding down, though, down to 6. Going to be handing it off to up the middle. Going to break away up over the 30. Going to get up over and pick up a first down. But there is going to be a flag thrown from somewhere. Jordan Mason was going to pick up 10. I imagine this is going to be coming back, though. We have a holding on number 67. That's Justin School, who is going to be called for that hold. So it'll be a 20-yard negation, effectively. Just taking a look at the replay here. Yeah, he had his arm hooked around the shoulder and took down, I believe that was number 55 there, Dio Odeyingbo, was able to draw that holding there. So now it's going to be first and 20 here for Minnesota, working from their own 14. Running back lined up to J.J. McCarthy's right. McCarthy going to take the snap, going to fake the draw, and going to be batted down at the line of scrimmage. Number 49, Tremaine Edmonds there with the breakup. And again, this Minnesota offense just really cannot find any traction here. As that's, great job lurking there from Edmonds. He had McCarthy reading the right route. He had Hawkinson open, but unable to connect as Edmonds able to jump up, get a hand to it. 3 tackles on the day, and that's his first pass broken up. McCarthy had a shotgun running back to his left, takes a snap, big drop back. Going to be looking, going to be firing, and going to go right into the dirt there. So I'm not sure that was a bit odd. I think Odeyingbo got the pressure again. Again, still want to see a replay. What exactly happened here? Again, taking a replay, look at the replay in slow motion. And yeah, Odeyingbo was able to get a hand as McCarthy was about to go forward. Odeyingbo able to get a hand to the football. Still going to be forward progress, or definitely still a throwing motion of the football. But again, that's going to make it third down and 20 now with 5:15 left to go in the second. McCarthy once again in the gun. Again, it's still Jordan Mason, so I guess Aaron Jones might be injured or something. What's happening here? And I guess Minnesota's getting a delay of game here. So that's weird, but all right, yeah, I guess JJ McCarthy, because Kevin O'Connell was pretty frustrated on the sideline, but that's only going to make it 3rd and 25. So it's going to make it third and a county for Minnesota. Third and a Midwest county here. Going to be 3 wide receivers to the near side. Play clock winding down again. McCarthy takes the snap. Going to be blitzer off the edge. Going to be a quick halfback screen to Jordan Mason. He's only going to get up to about the 15-yard line, though, before he's taken down. And that's going to bring up 4th down. And again, just another punt for this Minnesota offense. They just have not been able to get anything going. I think Justin Jefferson, you can see on the sideline. Definitely you can see him being a little bit frustrated, but 4th 3 and out for this Vikings offense. And again, I feel like the punt is away, but I feel like it's less an indictment of the Vikings and more just how good this Bears defense has been, fielded at about the 36, going to get up over the 40 to the 41 before he's tackled. That's number 13 by Minnesota with a nice one-on-one stop there. And that was Ty Felton on the tackle. Ooh, next Monday's a doubleheader. Ooh, so I get 2 choices. I might do. Ooh, okay, yeah. I think we're doing Bucks Texans. I think we're only going to do 1 game. I'll probably go because I don't think I'll be able to do the Steelers next week. There will still be a reaction. We'll see how that goes. 4:29 left to go here in the second quarter. Williams, handoff, running right, going to be cutting it back up the middle and going to be good for, we'll call it 3 yards there. Up to the Chicago 49 is DeAndre Swift. Yeah, I don't know. What is this on? ESPN. Taking a look at a couple of the storylines from this week. Bills 41, Ravens 40, Packers 27, Lions 13. That game was pretty dominant as being a Wisconsin resident, got to watch that one. Steelers 34, Jets 32. Aaron Rodgers, 4 passing touchdowns against the Jets. Only did that once as a member of the Jets. But 2nd and 6 here, under 4 minutes to play in the half. Williams with the check under center. 3 potential receivers bunched to the near side of the formation. I believe Swift remains in the game as the single back. And that's another false start here on the Bears. I think this one's on the left guard. Donovan Jackson, maybe? Oh, wait, no, that's the Vikings left guard. And I didn't see when it popped up. Bears left guard is Joe Tooney, I believe, getting flagged there. Right, wow. Okay, so that I didn't know. That was the Ravens' first loss when scoring 40 or more points. They were 25-0 before yesterday when putting up that total. I hate to see what the record is for all teams to score 40 or more points. Williams takes a snap out of shotgun over the middle, complete. That's going to be Olamide Zacchaeus up over midfield and up even over the Vikings 45 down to, I think, about the 44, depending on where they're spotted. And the Chicago offense getting right back to work. And will pick up that first down as Caleb Williams going right back to being very efficient. We're taking a look at the route run by Zacchaeus. And again, just a nice route concept. I think Williams doing a nice job looking off the linebacker, buying Zacchaeus that little bit more space and allowing him to, giving him the time to scramble forward for a few more yards. Caleb Williams now over 100 yards passing on the night, going to be under center, going to be a toss running to the near side to the left, and only going to pick up about 2 after, maybe he'll fall forward for a 3rd yard there as DeAndre Swift with another nice little pickup there. And again, they'll make it 2nd down and 7 here. As I believe we should get one more play now before the 2-minute warning. As difference between the play clock and the game clock at this point. 1 second in that point. Dallas Turner in on the stop that time. Also take a look at Andrew Van Ginkel, who may have rallied to help make that stop. Williams under center again. DJ Moore going in motion now to the far side of the field. Going to be a handoff up the middle. Going to be kind of the right-hand side. DeAndre Swift going to be met very quickly. He's only going to pick up about a yard there before he's taken down. I believe Javon Hargrave was in there, as was number 0 for the Vikings. Ivan Pace, whose name I've been saying a lot tonight, as he's made a good chunk of plays. But that will take us now to the 2-minute warning. And once again, we go to commercial break. And before half, I am going to grab food. And luckily, I still have audio, so I can still do that. Again, apologies for a minute. Pizza white bags. We'll work on that next season, I swear. I'm back, and we're just coming out of commercial, so it's perfect timing. Yes. New personal best. Let's go. All right. But I'll have to take a second before diving into that. But Williams working out a shotgun from in Vikings territory now, just inside of the 40. It's going to be 3rd down and 5. Running back lined up to his right. Zacchaeus now coming in motion to the near side. Going to head back to the far side. Williams takes snap, looking right. Going to be firing to his right. Going to be complete to Zacchaeus, who is going to pick up the first down. And about another yard or two before being knocked out of bounds. And so it'll once again be a Bears first down, 1:55 left to go here in the half. Has a nice little design there as well, as Zacchaeus running a nice little out route. Nice job as well, creating a little bit of separation with the DB. Number 8, Jeff Okuda. Wait, Jeff Okuda? Jeff Okuda's a Viking? Huh, you learned something new. Jeff Okuda was on the coverage there. It's Zacchaeus' 3rd catch. He's up to 30 yards on the day. Williams under center here. Quick check at the line. Going to take the snap. Going to be a handoff running left here. Going to go up the middle. DeAndre Swift, though, going to get up over the 30, but only going to pick up about a yard or two. And again, I feel like, actually, they'll give them 3 here. So Bears doing a nice job here of keeping it moving. And just have, retain possession really nicely over 17 minutes to Minnesota's 11. And I think, Minnesota in a good spot right now to only be down 8 possession. We'll see if Chicago can extend that at all. Williams under center once again. Going to be a toss this time running to the far side to the right. Once again, only going to pick up about 2 yards, but going to make it still 3rd down and manageable. A manageable 3rd down and 5 here. And so clock going to run down here. Bears also receive the second half kickoff. Vikings only with 2 timeouts. So we'll see what happens here. It's again, I feel like if something, I don't have food in my house. Food in my house? What is English? I'm literate, I swear. Williams out of the shotgun here on 3rd and 5, running back to his right. Roma Dunze going to go in motion now to the far side. Williams takes the snap, looking right, firing towards a Dunze, who's going to be hit immediately and knocked out of bounds. He's going to be about 2 yards short of the first down. Byron Murphy delivering the hit. And so with 28 seconds left on the clock, what is going to be the decision here for this Ben Johnson offense? Vikings do take a timeout now with 28 seconds left on the clock. And so we'll see if this Bears offense decides to take another go at a fourth down conversion. Bears do still have one timeout left. And of course, again, they do get the ball to start. It looks like the field goal unit is making their way out onto the field for Chicago here. As yeah, Caleb Williams is jogging off the field. So Bears will have their first field goal attempt of the game. So I'll go ahead and pull back up OBS. Try and be ready to go. 42-yard attempt for, who was your kicker? I don't know who your kicker is, and I don't want to pull up the depth chart. Right hash, hold, snap, hold, kick is good. Just about sneaks it inside of that right upright. And the Bears extend their lead back up to 7 points as they take a 10-3. Cairo Santos is the kicker. I can give you your proper credit. But yeah, just about sneaked it in there. Maybe about 3 or 4 inches between the, I guess, right upright if you're the kicker. So if you're kicking at the upright, it's the right one if you're not watching live. Even though, listen, I'm looking at OBS right now just because I want to make sure that I'm not accidentally, hailing a taxi, we'll call it. But, I only have, don't want to get canceled before we even start. So, we'll see what happens there. I think the right call there from the Bears. I think you take the points, especially get the ball out of half. We'll see if the Vikings can manage to put anything together with the 24 remaining seconds in this half. But the Bears' defense has been very stifling. 52 yards really is not a good showing. And with 172 yards for Chicago, I think you'd really want to see, 14 points out of that. Because I feel like every 80 or 90 yards you should probably, I don't know what you could probably run a correlation between yards and points as to what you'd expect. Actually, that's a good point. So on the official broadcast right now, they're giving us a look at some of the Ben Johnson trick plays, none of which we've seen yet. We have seen the tackle eligible so far today. So potentially trying to set up for that. So could that be a potential second half look where some of that gets moved in? Actually, when we got a chance here, I'm gonna dive into this basically burrito. Or not, because we're back in playing, so I don't get a chance. McCarthy, 3 wide receivers on the near side, running back lined up to his left. Bears showing blitz. They're going to only bring 4, though. McCarthy going to step up in the pocket, looking to his left, firing, complete. Jalen Naylor up over midfield. Not a lot of time left. 1 timeout left, and I think they're going to call it here. Is this the clock rolling or not? Are they going to say he got out of bounds? They're going to say Naylor got out of bounds here. That's a very big heads-up play and a really nice completion for J.J. McCarthy. No, Jalen Naylor definitely did not get out of bounds. The knee is certainly down, so I think Minnesota is going to call their final timeout, and they will. So they do correct that. So that is the correct call, but I think that is very brutal. Naylor very close to out of bounds. That was a very nice throw, and I think we're going to see the field goal unit here. Yeah, it is going to be. I think it is going to be. It is going to be the field goal unit. So it's going to be a long attempt here for Minnesota. It's going to be 54 yards here for the Minnesota kicker. Actually, it's going to be longer since they're moving it back now. Will Reichard, 58 yards is his record. This attempt will be from 57 yards on the left hash mark. So they're actually going to be 59 here, now that it's been specifically marked here. So I'm not going to give McCarthy a chance to potentially extend it. Snap, hold, kick is going to be right down the pipe. Hey, he drilled it. And it's a 59-yarder from Reichard. And that's a career high for the Minnesota kicker. And just like that, we're right back to a 4-point gap. 2 plays for Minnesota as they got left just enough time to once again be able to close that gap. And again, drilled it low. It was definitely close to not quite being long enough, but put it right through. And again, I think definitely a lot of respect to Jalen Naylor on that route. Again, I feel like if you are watching the actual commentary, you're going to hear a lot of the same things because I have to listen so that way I know some of these player names because the broadcast has better cheat sheets. So we're going to go off that. I think that we're about to move right into the commercial. Commercial halftime. So now I can eat. Bears, don't do anything funky on the kickoff return, please. I want to eat. And kick as well. Ties the shoulder field record. So great work for Will Reichard. There are 6 seconds left. So about to kick it away. We'll see if it does get returned. I imagine the return will be the last thing that we see in this one. Going to be fielded at the 5, 10, 15, 20, cuts it to the near side, 25, 30, breaks a tackle, 35, 40, going to get over the 45 to the 50 before he's tackled down, but time is going to expire as Luther Bird not quite able to break it. And that will take us into the half, and I got to update my graphics. That'll take us into halftime with a score of the Bears 10 on the Vikings 6. But yeah, into halftime. Yes, I can eat. I can eat, and then I think we'll go over stats. And I don't know. We'll hope Ben Johnson doesn't pull a trick play on me as I'm sitting here. Good food. I did that before the half, no. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like, need to give it a second before heading into stats, but I just have time. I feel like I'll bring up, like, a couple of things as they pop up here. But I feel like, early impressions. I think the Bears have looked really good. I think, the Vikings defense has been pretty solid. I think they've stood firm when they had to. And I think Caleb Williams has ultimately looked really good. I think it's just, getting that last little bit that is the difference. But Caleb Williams has been really efficient, using his mobility when he's had to. I don't think he's been sacked yet. But they're showing it on the broadcast rating right now. 13 of 16 for 112 and a rushing touchdown. McCarthy 5 of 8 for 48 yards. Obviously coming big time on that completion to Jalen Naylor, and then 11 rushing yards as well. We got 11 and a half minutes before we get back underway. I think that field goal was good. And, I think that J.J. McCarthy, again, I feel like you might look at that 5 of 8 for 48 yards for J.J. McCarthy and think that's definitely, a bigger detriment than I think it is. I think that J.J. McCarthy has definitely looked like a rookie in this one, is the thing. But, I think he hasn't looked skittish, I think is the good thing. He still looked confident. I think he's, still kind of on the game plan, but I'd definitely be interested, if this game starts to get out of hand and they do need to stretch the field a little bit more, kind of like they did at the end of that first half there, what that difference might be. Mm. Food is good. Food is very good. Hmm. But yeah, end of the half here. So 10 minutes before we get back underway. If you do need to step away, of course, I do appreciate it if you are sticking around or swinging by, or for some reason if you're kind of nuts and watching this after the fact. I appreciate that too. But yeah, let's see. I do. I am going to try to go to Soldier for the Steelers Bears game this year, as that's just before Thanksgiving, so could travel out there pretty easily. But yeah, we'll wait and see exactly how some of this goes down. Mm. Yeah, getting fueled up for the second half. Best as well. I guess food talk could be something to do at halftime. But yeah, I mean Justin Jefferson was really a non-factor. He had what, 2 targets, I think. As I think the Vikings tried to lean a little bit more on the run game on offense. So I think definitely going to be some hope that McCarthy and Jefferson can connect. I think Hawkinson as well only had 1 target, which was a bit surprising. But we'll see how much of that changes. Why are we looking at Jimmy Kimmel and Guillermo Rodriguez? Okay. Oh, right. Jimmy Kimmel is still a late night host. I forget about that sometimes. Hmm. Hmm. Again, I hope chewing isn't coming through so much. I haven't technically tested this computer's microphone yet, so I don't know quite how it is. Ooh, Chris Berman. Chris Berman's. I feel like I wish kind of wish Chris Berman would be on the call for NFL games. If it's just for 3 minutes, I feel like it's not too bad, but I don't know. Hmm. But taking a look, yeah, Steelers Jets was a pretty big result. Even if I would have, again, I feel like Steelers Jets was a weird game because despite the Steelers winning, it still made me want Justin Fields, even though Aaron Rodgers threw 4 touchdowns. Like, I don't know how to feel coming out of that one. Obviously, Boswell is a wizard, so that helps. And just having a special teams magician. But take a look at some replay from Packers Lions. I don't watching Parsons chase down Jared Goff live. It's like, oh, okay. You could hear the entire. I live in Wisconsin. There was actually an echo in the entire state of Wisconsin of every Packers fan in the state all at once saying "Thank you, Jerry" when Micah Parsons made that sack. It was actually kind of deafening. I'm surprised I still have hearing, but it happens. Mm. That was a great punch by the Rams to clinch that game. Oh, let's see, Niners able to edge it out against the Seahawks. I was surprised the Raiders beat the Pats a little bit. To be fair, I can expect the Pats to come out of the gate a little bit stronger. But I think Pete Carroll with a good first result. Geno Smith is definitely underrated. We'll see if he continues to mesh throughout the year. 362 yards and only 20 points sounds weird though. Mm. All right. Mm. Was it JCM on a nice touchdown run? That was nice. Again, seeing highlights here. Mm. Oh, that's a brilliant little interception for Cincy. All right, this is my first time seeing Colts Dolphins highlights. We'll see how much. Oh no, it's just the one touchdown pass. That pass I saw. I don't know. Travis Hunter will definitely be an interesting guy to watch, but I don't know. I feel like with Travis Hunter, he's either going to be a really defensive guy or a really offensive guy. At some point, I feel as much as I feel like the two-way could work. Just I don't know if it's like a gut feeling, but I just don't feel like he's going to be the Otani that like you had the comps to, because because I think Shohei Otani is like once in a generational for like all sports, or like has got to be. I don't know. But only 4.5 minutes left until we get into the second half. Again, I don't think it's been. It hasn't been an uninteresting game, but we'll see if anything changes as we move into the second half. I don't know whether it changes early or not, but I don't know. Again, we figure out one little thing at a time, and from there, we'll give it a look. And yeah, gonna continue to work from there. Yeah, again, I think next Monday I'll probably do the 7. Actually, because it would be 7. I could maybe. I definitely don't want to do. I don't want to do the 10 o'clock, the 10 p.m. Eastern game, 9 p.m. Central, which is Chargers Raiders. As much as I think that could be an interesting game, depending on. If it's a divisional game, you definitely don't want to. I feel like you can't call a blowout on a divisional game super early. But we'll wait and see on some of this. Man, not too long before we get into the second half. Oh, I don't feel like we're grabbing water. I feel like we're in a good spot. Okay, it is going to be lower. It's lower energy, so I feel like I just drink less. Also, I didn't have 3 beers during wasn't going to have 3 beers during this game because I have to. After 3 beers, I could still function tomorrow, but I'd rather not go 3 beers immediately after going to the gym. As much as it's nice to me to get some carbs back going, I feel like that's not the best way to do it. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, getting a stretch in. I feel like I should get a touchdown tradition or something. I don't know if I do something on touchdowns or what the end idea is. But looks like we're in this kind of last chunk of commercials here before moving into the final quarter. Nope, we still got at least one more. So, still got some time here. Not going to do as quite a deep dive into some of the stats here, but I'll at least pull them up here on my phone and kind of read some of them off. Caleb Williams and J.J. McCarthy, I already kind of went over. Jordan Mason's really only carried the ball. No, he had 1 or 2 brought back as penalties. So, only 9 carries for 35 yards for Minnesota as a team. Also really isn't good. Obviously, average of 3.9 isn't bad, but I think that's propped up by J.J. McCarthy's 1 carry for 11. On the Bears, 15 carries for 60 yards, so a little bit better. But again, I think that's propped up a little bit by the Caleb Williams scrambles. On the designed running plays, haven't been too effective. DeAndre Swift, 9 carries for 22. DJ Moore, only 2 for 6. But I think Chicago doing a nice job of spreading the ball around on offense. Nobody really has more. You got Zacchaeus and Hadunze with 4 targets each, and they got Swift and Moore with 3. But otherwise, they've done pretty good. Obviously, no turnovers. Penalties have been a big thing for the Bears so far. You got 5 penalties for 62 on Chicago. You got Minnesota only 3 for 20. And again, the yards difference is pretty massive. Only 80 yards for Minnesota, so I think, frankly, you'd be happy with 6 points off of 80 yards. especially with how many 3-and-outs we've seen from Minnesota so far. 172 on the other hand for Chicago, who've run 31 plays to Minnesota's 19. Also, Chicago, of course, dominating in terms of possession. And looks like we're coming out here into start the second half. So we'll go ahead and update this to third quarter. We'll look to get back going here into the second half. Well, let me check out Tom Grossi's scripted here as we head into that. Yeah, it should be 40% should be enough. So it should be all good there. But Caleb Williams is going to be coming back out. Kick is away, so the third quarter has started. And going to be fielded at the goal line on the far side. Bears moving from right to left up over the 20. Going to be stopped there. Taken down at the 22. Minnesota coming out with a nice stop early on the Chicago return. Number 57 in there making the tackle for Minnesota. It was Chaz Chambliss. It's a good name. Good name, good tackle from Chaz. But yeah, I mean, and they're talking to Ben Johnson right now, and I think he summed it up really nicely. Chicago, of course, burned by that one pass interference and by that long catch, but that's been about it for the defense. Otherwise, they've been playing well. Williams takes the snap, looking right, firing, going to be incomplete, looking for DeAndre Swift on a little swing route. So that'll bring up second down and 10, and Williams not starting as efficiently as he started that first quarter. If I could learn what all the periods of play were in the NFL, I'd be much better at this. Much less efficient to start this first half. But second and 10 now. Only 11 seconds elapsed. Caleb Williams, after starting this 10 for 10, is only 3 of his last 7. So potentially offset eye now for the Bears. Receiver coming in motion to the near side. It's offset to the near side, which is the left. Williams fakes the handoffs, has to step up in the pocket, looking, firing to his right in the area of Cole Kmet. But once again, this is going to fall incomplete. Number 0, Ivan Pierce. So again, I keep calling out the name of Ivan Pierce. He's been, flying all over the place tonight. Is in coverage there. So I'm going to make it 3rd and 10 now. So, again, going to be really the first 3rd and long here that I can remember for the Bears. Going to be 3 wide receivers on the near side. Williams in shotgun. Going to be a 5-man rush for the Bears. Firing left. And Williams is going to ground it in the area of Olamide Zaccheaus. And so a quick 3-and-out here for Chicago is not great there. So yeah, 5-man rush. You had Grenard giving pressure, as was Allen. Just kind of hurried that Caleb Williams throw. I don't think it would have been there for the first down anyways. As you had number 44, Joshua Metellus in the area giving coverage. That'll bring Torrey Taylor back out, and that punt is away. Going to be fielded on the near side on the 30. Up down the middle, 35-40. Cutting up the middle, 45-50. Up into Bears territory goes the returner. And so a solid 20-odd yard return there. That's Miles Price with a very nice return there to put the Vikings in great position. Again, just get to update the depth chart here. And so J.J. McCarthy, now that he's had a chance to get a breather, we'll see if he can come out and look more confident here. Did Jefferson have 2 catches? I feel like he only had 1. McCarthy under center here. I believe it looks to be Aaron Jones, the single back. Thielen coming in motion. Gonna fake the handoff. McCarthy looking, gonna be firing, gonna be batted at the line of scrimmage as he almost got stripped But it's going to be incomplete. There is a flag after the play. Sewell almost came away with the pick. And I think that's Ode Yingbo again with the pressure. We'll see what the flag here is. We got a roughing the passer call here. And the Bears fans in attendance are not happy. Let's take a quick replay. That's not a great camera angle at it. It did look to be a little bit late. It was not Ode Yingbo. It was I think it was because Ode Yingbo left his feet. That penalty. It was Montez Sweat. It was Montez Sweat who had the breakup. But again, going to be another penalty for the Bears here. McCarthy going to go under center again. Takes a snap, handoff to Jones, running up the middle. He's going to be met in the backfield. He'll be lucky to get half a yard. As number 31 for Chicago, Kevin Byard in there making the stop. That'll make it 2nd down and 10 now. Yeah, so Justin Jefferson, only 2 targets tonight and 1 reception for 4 yards, which is very good for my fantasy team. Please do not let Justin, we're not even going to say it. We're not going to say it until it becomes a potential issue. McCarthy out of shotgun, takes a snap, going to be a toss to Aaron Jones, running right. Going to cut it back up the left and try and get forward. He'll find maybe 2 yards, depending on where they spot it. He'll get to the Chicago, we'll call it 31 here. It's going to make it 3rd down and 8 here. Though I think a long 8, that's a little bit of a struggle. As, this Bears offense has looked really good. Vikings 0 of 5 on 3rd down so far tonight. Average distance of 8.6 yards. I think shows you just how good this Chicago defense has been at specifically rallying to the ball, especially on some of these run plays and some of these shorter pass plays. McCarthy going to be motioning out into empty set. Going to bring Aaron Jones back to his right. It's going to be 3 wide receivers to the far side. Quick alert at the line. Going to be a quick check. Play clock winding down 2-1, and they will get the snap off. Bears bringing pressure. McCarthy looking to his left, firing. Intercepted at the 30. That's number 26 on the interception. He's going to be down the sideline, and he's gone. And McCarthy's first touchdown thrown to a defender. It's Nahshon Wright taking it to the house. And the Bears get their 2nd touchdown of the day by virtue of their defense. And it's a great job jumping the route by Wright. And McCarthy's going to be wishing for that one back. And trying to see what happened there, but it's 74 yards for Nahshon Wright. 12:51 left. I think that was intended for Justin Jefferson there. But the pressure from Chicago causing that. PAT is up. PAT is good. And Chicago, with their biggest lead of the game, extends it to 11 points. And McCarthy just staring down his receiver the whole time. Little bit underthrown, was intended for Jefferson. And Wright able to just take off down the sideline and nobody near him. And he's gone for a touchdown with a nice entourage there. And again, that's going to get even more challenging for this Vikings offense to overcome. Well, damn, we got something exciting. Holy shit. I mean, we'll see if that's the dagger, but I think it's, a good call from that Dennis Allen defense. Which, again, the Dennis Allen defense has looked really good. I think with the offense, you're still going to have some questions if you're the Bears. But, again, I think the Vikings defense has played well, has also played well. Just, Bears defense has been the kind of best unit on the field. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know kind of where I'm sitting right now, but we'll wait and see. Damn notifications. There we go. We'll clear those. I don't know. Let's see where we at. I assume the Bears fans were very happy here. Yeah, I assume Bears fans were very happy to screen. I swear I cleared those notifications. God damn it. But yeah, we'll see if this becomes a stream where I end up playing like Magic the Gathering on my phone at some point. Just during the commercial breaks. It's like, oh, okay, this isn't much of a game anymore. We're going to do something else. I don't expect we're going to hit that point, but this could get out of hand very quickly now that Minnesota is going to have to start stretching the field. And obviously, we'll see. J.J. McCarthy didn't look too downtrodden on the sideline. I think he was definitely getting talked to by his coordinators, by his coaches, as to exactly kind of what happened there. But he did kind of stare down Justin Jefferson there. Stared him down, underthrew it by a little, and then just allowed a jumping of the route. Looking at a replay here. Again, Bears were bringing a huge rush, and so hurried McCarthy just that little bit. And so we're taking a look at the replay here. Yeah, just now. That's not even reading the quarterback's eyes. That's just a great break. That's a really nice play from the corner. Yeah, that's just a great play. But kick here is away. 12:51 left to go in the third, and clock is now rolling with the return up the 5 at the near side. 10, 15, 20, 25. Going to try to cut 2 back to the near side, but only going to get up about as far as the 29 before he is taken down. But J.J. McCarthy has now thrown for more yards on that interception than he has through the air tonight. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens here. And this Cleveland. Why do I keep wanting to say Cleveland? I feel like it's just because there's that rivalry between Wisconsin and a city that starts with C that has an orange team, even if they're blue. We won't worry about it. 1st and 10 here, working from their own 28-yard line. McCarthy under center. Going to take a snap, toss, running to the left. Going to cut it back. Going to pick up, we'll call it 4 yards there. Tackled by Sewell. Looked like it might have been a hip drop tackle there. I thought we were going to get a flag for a second. The clock continues to roll here as Jordan Mason heading to Minnesota from Santa Clara, which of course is the location of this year's Super Bowl. 2nd and 6 after the 4-yard gain. McCarthy going to go under center once again here. As Mason, 5 carries for 17 yards tonight. 12:09, 12:08, 12:07 to go. Jefferson going in motion. He's going to head back to the far side. Fakes the handoff is McCarthy. Stepping up in the pocket. Going to be under pressure. Not going to escape. He's taken down for a sack. Number 69 in there for the Bears. That is Tanoa Kapassanon. Kapassanon? Tanoa Kapassanon. I swear that's a name. We'll swear. But, doing a nice job getting off the edge, able to wrap up J.J. McCarthy and take him down. It's going to bring up another 3rd down and long here for Minnesota. It's going to be 13. Empty set here. 3 wide receivers to the far side, and they're not going to get the snap off. It's going to be a delay of game. Wow. And at this point, it's everything that could go wrong is going wrong for this Minnesota offense. And I think you're seeing some of the struggles of being a rookie from McCarthy. It does look to be maybe it's either spitting a little bit of rain or it's the Bears fans banging on the barriers in the background. I think it's more the Bears fans banging in the background than any rain necessarily falling. In Chicago, 3rd and 18 now from the Minnesota 19. Takes a snap. It's going to be a draw play up the middle, and it's going to be stuffed. It's going to be Gervon Dexter and Montez Sweat on the stop. And it's all Chicago here. It's all that Chicago defense here, especially. And it's definitely a welcome to the NFL moment here for J.J. McCarthy. Is this defense? Props to Dennis Allen. This defense is looking really, really damn good. Punt is away as Ryan Wright, I believe this is the 6th or 7th time tonight, going to be fielded near side at 30, bobble a little bit for the 35, going to step out of bounds at about the Chicago 38-yard line. Flag is thrown late. So we're going to have to wait to see what it is. Might be an illegal block in the back here. Still waiting to see what the flag is. Holding on the Bears. So they'll start, instead of starting from their 38, they will start from their 28. But yeah, the Chicago defense absolutely shutting down this Minnesota offense. 10:08 left to go in the third, and we'll head back to commercial break. But yeah, quickly. So you know that thing that I said about maybe playing Magic the Gathering on my phone? It might come sooner than I thought. We won't yet. I'm going to step away and grab a drink, though. Of water? Oh, so let me throw away some trash. Pasty thighs! All right, now we're coming out of the commercial break. We're going to do cooking, too. We're a cooking bar. But, getting back, set up here. Caleb Williams is going to go under center. He's going to be starting from the 20. 10:08 left to go in the third. Swift is the single back, going to be a toss. Running right, going to try to scamper. Going to get met in the backfield, though. Not going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Going to be a loss of 1 there. And the Chicago offense struggling to get going, but it's been all defense here in Chicago. Williams going to go under center once again. Swift remains the single back. Second down and about 10.5. More coming in motion to the near side. Going to fake the handoff. Williams stepping up in the pocket, looking left, firing. Good to DJ Moore. He's going to get a pickup of about 24 yards there. Actually, probably closer to 30 yards, as he got up very close to midfield. As a huge first down on a very deep out route. And the Bears, just as I said, been very defensive. Bears offense getting right back to clicking. And that was a good job from Caleb Williams as well, because he got a bit of a high five. Screen pass here, going to be met in the backfield. Van Ginkel with a nice stop. Luther Burden was the recipient of that screen, and it went nowhere. Going to be a loss of 3. It's going to make it second down and 13. Also, happy 13-9 week, West Virginia. Y'all can go fuck off. I think it's the first time I've sworn today. Progress. Williams out of shotgun here on 2nd and 13. I don't get to take a sip of water because I was too busy talking shit. Running back lined up to the right. Williams looking left, firing. Incomplete, looking for Zacchaeus. As Williams facing some pressure. They'll make it 3rd down and 13 with 8:11 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Again, another 5-man rush. It was Van Ginkel giving a little bit of pressure. Actually, I think Van Ginkel did get a hand to it. Yeah, Van Ginkel did get a hand to it. So that's why it did end up short. Also, Caleb Williams, I think, got a little bit of a tap in the head. So Bears fans probably going to be complaining that wasn't roughing the pass. So 3 wide receivers to the near side. Williams in shotgun. Takes a snap. Another 5-man rush for Minnesota. Going to be looking left, firing. Complete. Colston Loveland. Going to be met, though, by 44 of the Vikings. As the Vikings defense has been very good. Joshua Mateus was first to the ball there. As that's a big stop for Minnesota. Just trying to swing any sort of momentum. This is going to make it 4th and 9, so only going to be a pickup of 4. I think Javon Hargrave giving some pressure there, showing Van Ginkel, who of course had that pass breakup on 2nd down. And once again, we'll see Torrey Taylor punt the ball away. Colston Loveland, that was his 2nd catch of the night. Snap is back. Very close there. Just about got away. Going to be fielded at the 6. Going to be running the far side. Could have back up the middle. 10, 15, 20. Up to about the 23 before he is taken down. So a very nicely moved punt. And J.J. McCarthy will be coming back out onto the field. And now, I can drink Mountaineer Tears. Delicious. Very salty, though. Oh, the urge to stream the Backyard Brawl is incredibly strong. I don't think I'll get it, though. I don't think I'll be able to watch it, though. We'll see. Also, I'd rather just go out and watch it and just be... It's definitely a dickish thing to say, but I'd rather be really obnoxious in public. Yes, I will accept all of the abuse that comes with that. Oh, you want to be obnoxious? Well, I don't know. Come up with your own insults. I don't know. Oh. All right. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. Of course, hoping my Steelers can start off 1-0. We'll see what happens. Of course, we play Seattle, who, from what I heard, struggled a bit offensively against San Francisco, which hopefully bodes well for our defense to have a better game. Interesting. Hopefully, please let comedies start to come back. We miss comedies. Comedies are great. But coming out of commercial here, how long have we been live for? It feels like, I don't know. I feel like the second quarter was kind of long. We're almost at 2 hours now, so at least an hour to go. But we'll see what happens here. Yeah. Bears defense has been the headliner today. I feel like I should try to do a YouTube short. I just don't. I also don't want to edit. We'll figure something out. Play action. Looking for Hawkinson. They're going to calm him down. It's only a pickup of 1.5 here. The call on the field is that he was down. Bears do run into the end zone. So if it was a fumble, it was Sewell running into the end zone. Yeah, Hawkinson's down. He's down. Challenge flag out for Ben Johnson. I think it's an interesting call. So what happens first? Is he touched by a defender? So no Sewell with the punch out and with the potential recovery here. So I think it's going to be an interesting call here. Are they going to say that the punch out was a part of the contact that rules Hawkinson is down? Or are they just going to say it's a punch out? We're back to commercial break. I don't know. I feel like I feel like energy always drops in the third quarter and then it comes back up for the fourth. I feel like it also might be me digesting food. I just need to clean my kitchen. Damn it, I have stuff. Damn it, I have adulting that I need to do. Shame. Oh my god. Every time. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens here. I checked Discord, but I know I'm like 30 seconds behind, so I don't want to get ruined. But we do enjoy Fubo. Because it's not quite as pricey as an actual full-blown cable membership. Mm. And it's a good thing I'm also I'm a Pittsburgh baseball fan, because I need to use that every now and again for sports. I mean, what? Here's the thing, I know that you're talking to myself and that the camera is on and the microphone is on, but it's like, I know it is like after a certain amount of time, you kind of just forget, especially when you're just like, oh hey, I'm gonna say all my thoughts out loud, and yeah, but that happens now and again. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I think there's an argument there that is going to be a scoop and score. Which, if it is, that very well might be the dagger. Play stands as called. So we're going to be listening to the rules list here for specifically why. Okay, so I think the punching of the ball counts as down by contact in this instance. McCarthy, play action, looking left, going to be dumping it off. Aaron Jones, going to scramble, going to give a nice little stiff arm. I'm going to pick up about 5 yards there. That'll make it 3rd down and 3. I believe Noah Sewell over there again. So pick up a 5 there. It'll make it 3rd down and 2. So again, big chance here for the Vikings to convert on what potentially would be their first third down conversion of this game. Average so far has been almost 10 yards. This one is 3rd and 2. McCarthy in the gun. Running back ahead of him and to his left. Takes the snap. Drops. 4-man rush for Chicago. McCarthy looking. Firing to his right. Complete to Adam Thielen. Actually, no. The ball jarred loose. The ball jarred loose there as Thielen just unable to hold on. Number 20. There's so much spittle there. So we're looking at the coverage. It was number 29 for Chicago in there. And yeah, just ripped out. Great play there from, who was that? Who's 29? Tyreek Stevenson. Thank you. Thank you, actual NFL commentary, because I did not find the name. So Ryan Wright out once again. 8th time this game. Punt is away. Going to be fair catch signal 4. Going to be fielded at the 22. And that's where the Bears offense is going to come back out. And once again, the Vikings defense needing to make a stop. Where's 29? Why am I looking at the Minnesota Vikings defense depth chart? Maybe that's some of the issue. Oh, boy. That'll probably do some of it. Oh, damn shoulder. All right. But yeah, Adam Thielen. I think it's his first target back in a Vikings uniform. And very unhappy. You can see him shut there on the sideline. Handoff by Williams. Running right is DeAndre Swift, who's going to get the pile pushed forward. Going to be close to a first down. I think he's going to be just short. I think it's going to end up being 2nd down and 1. It was a really nice push by the offensive line to help DeAndre Swift pick up a few extra yards. Good work moving his legs, and yeah, just keeps moving. Blake Cashman in there on the tackle, if I have his name right. 11th carry of the game, only 31 yards for Swift. So 2nd and 1. Under center once again is Caleb Williams. Going to fake the handoff. Looking to his left. Going to be dumping it off once again. Going to find DJ Moore, who I think is just about going to pick up the 1 yard necessary for that first down. And the Bears move the chains here with 4:48 left to go here in the 3rd. And it will be a 1st down and 10 as he had DJ Moore there lining up in the backfield. So again, still not a lot of trickery here from Chicago. So still gonna, we'll see if anything gets pulled out. I imagine up 13, or up 11, 13. They're going to be a little bit conservative. Williams under center once again. It looks like Swift, the single back. Adunze coming in motion. Sorry, it's DJ Moore up the middle on a little toss. He's going to pick up, I think, about 3.5 there. So Bears seemingly leaning on the running game here. But Caleb Williams definitely been a lot faster with the football tonight. Really, has made sure he hasn't held on to that football. Pick up a 4 there on 1st down, so it'll be 2nd down and 6. Going to fake the handoff, rolling back to his right, looking over the middle. Pumps escaping now to his right, and he's going to find the edge up over the 40, 45, up over midfield into Vikings territory, up to the 48. And Williams, once again, using that mobility to escape the pressure and pick up that 1st down, which frankly does not bode well for my Steelers because we struggle with that a lot against Justin Fields. Stop concerning me. Blake Cashman provided the initial pressure, and then it was 90-0. It was Ivan Pace and Tyrion Ingram Dawkins unable to contain Caleb Williams as he scrambled off to his right-hand side. So back into Minnesota territory goes Chicago, and Blake Cashman down on one knee here. So clock will be stopped here, and is being attended to. So we'll see what happens here. I think Cashman was trying to trip up. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, Cashman just pulled up. It looks to be some like a hamstring injury potentially as he went chasing after Caleb Williams. Just comes up limping. So he'll head into the. Will he head into the blue tent? Well, he won't head into the blue tent. Either way, Blake Cashman off the field now. Up to 45 rushing yards now for Caleb Williams, who goes under center. Bringing a tight end in motion in the near side. Going to hand it off, running to the near side. Going to be swallowed up. Swift. Going to continue to chew the legs, though. Will fall forward and pick up 2. Nice job by DeAndre Swift to make a little bit of something of that. Also, Vikings. Okay, so the reason why Cashman not heading into the tent is because Ryan Kelly, the Vikings center, also banged up. That last run by the Bears is only going to be good for 2 yards. Williams going to go under center once again. 2 wide receivers to the far side. I believe 3 wide receivers to the far side. It's going to be a tight end being brought in motion. Williams going to be handing it off, running it right. DeAndre Swift cuts it back to the left. Going to pick up a first down and more up over the 35, down to the 34. And DeAndre Swift, with his biggest run of the day, going to pick up another Bears first down. And finally, I think there's a Vikings defense starting to bend a little bit. Looking at a replay here, nice cutback, nice vision from Swift, who just finds that opening on that left-hand side, able to shed a defender and pick up that first down. Offset eye here, going to motion the tight end back out to the line. Tackle in motion, and that's going to be an offside. That's going to be an encroachment there. Javon Hargrave is the one who jumps. And it'll be a neutral zone infraction on Hargrave, the one-time Steeler and 49er. So clock will continue to roll now. 1:46, 1:45 left to go here in the third. Yeah, ton of guys in motion. Tackle eligible will remain in the game here on 1st and 5. Going to be a handoff now. Running left is Swift. Going to continue to chew those legs. And DeAndre Swift finding momentum. He's going to get up and pick up another first down. DeAndre Swift now. And, I think, obviously that tackle eligible doing the work. Cole Kmet also having throwing a nice block, able to seal the edge. But it's really on DeAndre Swift for carrying really 2 Vikings defenders with him. Van Ginkel was in the area. I think it was number 2. It was Isaiah Rodgers, who really just got run over by DeAndre Swift. And he's doing a nice job at going north and south. DeAndre Swift, 15 for 54 on the night. Williams fakes the handoff this time. Looking. Going to fire to Swift up over the 20 to the 15. Going to step out of bounds down at about the 12 while looking to lay the hammer. Flag is thrown. So we'll see if this is coming back. 41 seconds left to go in the third quarter. And to be holding on, I believe that's Darnell Wright it is, who is going to get flagged for a hold here with 41 seconds left to go. So that'll wipe out the 12-yard gain there. The Bears' right tackle there getting called. Really? There's a hold somewhere in there. But Bears, 8 penalties for 97 yards on the night. Despite that, still holding an 11-point edge. What'll probably be the final play of the third quarter. First down and 20, Williams and shotgun. Running back lined up to his right, takes the snap. Looking right, looking back left, fires over the middle, overthrows his intended receiver, looking to go right through the hands of Cole Kmet. That'll stop the clock. With 15 seconds left to go now in the third. Could have very easily been intercepted there. We'll take a quick look at the replay as Kmet, Kmet was looking to settle down. Yeah, it's, bit of a mistake there from Williams, looking to lead Kmet a little bit more. And just overthrows his guy. Yeah, that's more on Williams than it is on Kmet Williams 16 24 for 135, 45 yards rushing. It's going to make it second down and 20. 15 seconds, man in motion. Are they going to get the snap off? They will just about. Pressure in Williams' face. Going to escape to his left. Going to step up in the pocket. Continues to bounce around. And the ball just came out there. I think that's got to be intentional grounding. Eric Wilson with the pressure that time. That'll stop the clock with 5 seconds now. And the flag comes out late. I think that is going to be intentional grounding because that ball was nowhere close to getting past the line of scrimmage. I mean, he is still up, but there's nobody in the vicinity, and Caleb Williams will get called for intentional grounding, and the Bears over 100 yards of penalties so far tonight. So that'll make it, I believe, third down and 30 here for Chicago. On what now should be the final play before we head into the fourth quarter. So we had first in a county earlier we had third in a county earlier with Minnesota. We've got third in a county again here for Chicago, but in a much better scenario. Williams fires over the middle, complete to Olamide Zacchaeus, who's going to get up over the 35, going to get tackled at around the 33, and that'll take us into the fourth quarter and what will probably be a Bears field goal attempt. The Bears do a nice job working their way back into field goal range, but we'll be back for the final stanza very shortly here as the Bears looking to make it a 14-point edge. Oh, Borderlands. I was curious as to what this was, briefly. Oh boy. We got work tomorrow. But yeah, so I guess next game in the NFL is Packers and Commanders. I still feel like they need to come up with a new. I mean, as much as it's like you've had this name for years now, might as well stick with it. I still feel like the name Commanders just kind of sucks. Like it's still soulless. It's still Dan Snyder's. Just change it. Yeah, Packers, Commanders on Thursday, and I don't believe there's a Friday game this week. Yeah, and then next Monday. Yeah, we'll figure out what game we're doing. It'll probably be the early one. I will do my best to give myself more than 15 minutes this time. But no promises. But who knows? Why did... Okay. I don't know why that... Again, I feel like I'm just doing random commentary here. I don't know why Jared Goff was the only one to... I'll take statements I never thought I'd even think of saying for $500. I don't know why Jared Goff wasn't in a towel there. Give appropriate time for you to clip that. And now carry on. Yeah, he was just there and he was the only one without a towel, I guess. I don't know. Field goal unit is out. It's going to be a 50-yard attempt here for Chicago. On 4th and 18. Again, this would only extend it to a 2-touchdown edge, which doesn't feel right. Yeah, 50-yard attempt, left hash for the right-footed kicker. Snap, hold, kick is no good. No good. He missed it right. So it doesn't get knocked through here. As yeah, it just looked to get blown out to that. Looked to be good for a moment. Just kept heading to the right. No, it wasn't the wind. The wind was calm. but it's no good. And that gives the Vikings a bit of a lifeline here. So only an 11-point edge here. So into the fourth quarter, Vikings still not over 100 yards yet today. McCarthy under center. Check at the line. Working from the Vikings 40. Hands it off up the middle. Going to be Mason. Going to pick up 5. Going to be pushed forward. Going to end up picking close to 7 yards there. Make it second down and 3. That's good work there from the Minnesota offensive line on first down. Again, I'm kind of surprised that Jordan Mason has been the bell cow. I assume there's just something up with Aaron Jones, because I think we'd expect to see him more. Blake Cashman also officially out with a hamstring injury. McCarthy going to hand it off once again up the middle. Mason going to break a tackle, breaking out to the right, above the 45 into Bears territory, down to the 40, down to the 35, and is taken down at the 34. Jordan Mason starting to get something going. Number 31 in there on the tackle for Chicago. That was Kevin Byard. And it's a nice little double pull action. Oliver and Hawkinson doing a nice job to open up a lane, and Byard able to take down Mason from behind. Going to be good for 15 or 20 yards there. 34 yards after contact as well for Jordan Mason tonight. It's been almost all of his yardage. Mason faking the handoff is McCarthy. McCarthy stepping up, firing to his left. Going to be complete to Jefferson. Only his second catch of the night, but a good catch there. And so the Vikings offense finally getting moving here as we head into the fourth quarter. As Jefferson finally able to connect with his quarterback. And a nice little route there. Tyreek Stevenson. I don't even want to say Tyreek Stevenson in coverage there, because he was about 5 yards off him. And that was good. That was a good throw from McCarthy with a defender right in his face. So Jefferson, 17 yards on that completion. I believe that does put Minnesota in the red zone here. McCarthy under center. Single back is Mason. Takes snap, hands it off, running left. Mason finds another hole. Going to get tripped up and knocked down. But not before but he's going to be able to fall forward and pick up about 5 or 6 yards there. They'll call it 2nd and 5 now. So Mason 45 yards now. And again, Jordan Mason has been surprisingly that more consistent running back. And again, we just haven't seen a lot of Aaron Jones. McCarthy going to go under center once again. Mason remains in the game. Thielen being brought in motion a bit tighter to the formation, but it's 2 potential targets either side. McCarthy fakes the toss to the right, rolls to his left, fires, batted down. Number 98, Montez Sweat in there. Able to leap up, get his hands on the football, and knock it down. And that'll make it 3rd down and 5 here with 12:18 left to go in the game. I think he was looking for the end zone. Imagine that was Naylor from the look of things. Yeah, it was. Yeah, and McCarthy had Naylor as well. Naylor had a step on the defender. Bears showing blitz here, working from the Chicago 13. McCarthy staying in the pocket, looking, firing over the middle. Caught! Touchdown! Justin Jefferson finds his way into the end zone, and Justin Jefferson on the board for the NFL season. That's a 13-yard receiving touchdown. And my fantasy hopes just got a little bit slimmer, as with 12-13 left in the game. Minnesota closes the gap, and it looks like they are going to be going for 2 points here. Very nice throw from McCarthy as well. Very tight. Actually looked to be a tighter window, but placed it exactly where he needed to. 6-play, 60-yard drive as Minnesota has finally found some footing. And all of a sudden, this is a one-possession game. Minnesota is going for 2 here. Currently 17-12 Chicago. Can Minnesota close it to 3? McCarthy takes a snap. Going to try to roll and escape. It's going to come back for a hold almost certainly. McCarthy spins, tries to escape, throws towards the end zone. It's going to be incomplete there. But it's not going to matter. 17-12, I believe, will be the current score. as we wait to hear from the referee. Illegal use of hands on Chicago! It's on Chicago! So Minnesota gets a second chance here to go for two. It's Odi Yingbo getting called for illegal hands to the face. Yeah, just gets his hand up a little bit. Yeah, he gets his hand up into the chin strap of O'Neal. And it's borderline there, but I think it's because he kind of gets up under the chin that gets called. So Minnesota going to go for two once again, this time from the one. Jefferson checking out of the game. It's going to be heavy personnel. 3 tight end look here for the Vikings. I think that's penalty number 11 on Chicago today. I formation, though. Going to motion out to a single back heavy. McCarthy looking, fakes the handoff, looking, firing to his left. Complete. Can he get in the end zone? He cannot. Great stand there from the Chicago Bears. And they'll hold it to only 6 on this possession. But it is now 17-12. I believe it was Nahshon right there on the stop on the 2-point conversion. But J.J. McCarthy, with his first touchdown to his own team, does connect with Justin Jefferson. And so 12-13 left to go. And now Minnesota's defense going to have to hold out once again. And we'll see what happens. So again, we're suddenly right back into a game. And of course, my voice is starting to get tired again. I don't know. These things happen. But, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this continues. I'm surprised that Temple has stayed up there this entire game. It's been very good. But let's see, what time is it? 9:41. That's not bad. Also, I have more water. I should do that. Ugh. All right. Ugh. Oh, it's been a surprisingly good game. I've been reasonably impressed. About 12 minutes left to go. Approaching 2.5 hours. I assume primetime games are a little bit longer because I think the commercials just go on for a little bit longer. Let's see. Because how long was the... Because I do want to check how long the Steelers Jet stream went for. That stream was... It was 3 hours and 18 minutes. I did start a little bit early. But, I'm still figuring some of that side of things out. So, we'll see how much longer it goes. That means you're still going to be live for another 50 minutes, apparently, which actually I hope not. Though I think I went live 10 or 15 minutes before kickoff in that one. And this one, not quite the case. But is Minnesota able to get back into it as we return to Soldier Field? 12-13 left to go in the game now, as we're looking at a much happier looking Justin Jefferson on the sideline. And please don't tell me the stream is down. Is the stream okay? I don't know if the stream's good. I think it's just me. Hold on. Do. I don't know if this is happening. I could very well just be talking into the ether. And would never know. Kick is away, though, going to be fielded in the end zone and returned. 10, 15, 20, 25. Going to go up the middle. A one-arm tackled there. Number 55, that's Wilson in there with a nice tackle. Actually, sorry, I think it was Owens. So it was Owens in there on the stop. No, it was Owens on the stop there. Just sniffing it out. Jonathan Owens, the former Packer, if I'm not mistaken, making a nice stop. It was Oliver, the intended target, trying to make the play there. And that's, again, great play by the Chicago safety. So Caleb Williams back out on the field, running back to his left in the gun. 12:09 left to go in the game. DJ Moore coming in motion to the near side. Williams takes a snap, looking right, pumps. And for the first time today, he's going to go down back at the 14-yard line. Javon Hargrave finds him for the first time, and Caleb Williams goes down. Going to be a big loss there. And that is a huge moment as Brian Flores' defense comes up big here on first down. There's going to be a loss of, I think, 7 there. As Hargrave with a really nice swim, just right in Caleb Williams' face, and nothing he could do with that football. It's a loss of 8, and they're going to hand it off to Swift, and they're going to lose even more. They're going to lose 1 that time. And that's going to be number 65 there, who is, actually I think it was 55. I think it was Eric Wilson in there. It was Eric Wilson that they're showing. It was double 5s. So 3rd and 19 now, and we're looking at, I think, some much more dejected-looking Bears fans. 11:03, 11:02, 11:01, 11 minutes left to go now. 3rd and 19. Adunze coming in motion to the near side, makes it 3 wide receivers. It's going to be a screen towards Adunze. That's going to be incomplete, broken up by Andrew Van Ginkel, who sniffed that out immediately. And it's a quick 3 and out here. Chicago, what's going on here? Yeah, Van Ginkel with a great read there. I think that's going to be incomplete anyways. Yeah, what is that? After those first 10 completions, this Bears team has just not looked good. Punt from Torrey Taylor is away. We fielded at the 28, going to be carried up the middle, going to the far side, up over the 40, up over to the 45, up over midfield to the 50, and going to be taken down in Chicago territory at the 48. What is going on here? Is into Chicago territory they go. And McCarthy and the Vikings with a chance to take the lead for the first time today. What is going on here? I'm kind of stunned here, if I'm being completely honest. Like, this has been an odd game. Huh. But back to commercial once again. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here with the Chicago offense, but it just has not been good. And you can tell it's definitely a Monday because it is 9:48. We are running out of steam. We went for a run today. Yeah. Let's see. What's my heart rate at? Is it really at 87? I feel like it'd be fun to just throw on heart rate monitors. We are going to switch out earbuds here finally. One sec. There we go. So switching out ears for IRL commentary assist. Again, they have better resources than I do, so it helps to have them in one ear, even if I'm stealing some of it. But yeah, big moment for the Vikings defense. Yeah, Cashman is out, but you can still see him talking to his teammates on the sideline. And Caleb Williams looking much more dejected here on the sideline. Meanwhile, the Bears defense looking to hype up their fans. They did move the spot back to right at midfield. So Minnesota with a short field scenario here to have an opportunity to take the lead. Of course, went 6 for 60 on the last drive. Aaron Jones now finally checking back into the game. First time we've seen him in a minute. Single back deuce set. Handoff up the middle. Aaron Jones cutting right. Going to pick up 5 and going to pick up even more as Aaron Jones has now found some momentum. He's going to run forward and pick up 9 yards there. Is this Vikings running game looking very good here? It's only his 6th carry of the game. And that puts him up to 17 yards. Once again, they're going to go single back deuce. Tight end on the far side going to be motioned out wider. Going to be motioned back. Makes it tight ends close to the O-line and the wide receiver spread out wide. Single back in the backfield is Aaron Jones. Fakes the handoff. Is McCarthy as he drops back, steps up in the pocket, fires towards the right-hand side, looking for Jefferson. Going to fall incomplete. And looked to be 26 in coverage, but he came up limping there. And he's gone down. That does not look good. There was Nashawn Wright who had the pick 6 on there. Yeah, Nashawn Wright. That was looked to be non-contact, and that didn't look pretty. Yeah, I mean Nashawn Wright, I think doing just enough to put Jefferson off, but he almost immediately went down. So that's not good. And we're going to go to commercial here after that injury. It looked to be his left knee that he tweaked a little bit as he tried to turn upfield in case Jefferson did manage to make that catch. But we are now back to commercial. Ugh. This game has been unbelievably confusing. I don't know. Yeah, so obviously, I mean, I think they're going to go. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I think this game has just been confusing. I'm like, explaining by text here, where it's like, yeah, like yes, it's week 1, but it's like it feels just odd. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened here. Deshaun Wright immediately grabbing towards his knee. That's not good. Oh, no, sorry. It appears to be calf cramping for Deshaun Wright. So that'll make it 3rd and 1. And Bears fans getting loud here. Deshaun Wright, 3 tackles, 1 for loss. Bears showing heavy blitz. Jefferson going to go in motion to the far side. Going to fake the handoff. McCarthy going to be firing out of his back foot. And that's going to be incomplete, and there's going to be a flag. There's going to be a flag. Tyreek Stevenson is going to get called for at least a hold here, maybe a pass interference. Montez Sweat, I think, laid a big hit as that ball got thrown. And it's going to be pass interference. The ball intended for Jalen Naylor. Taking a look here. And it's going to be that little hook. I think it's a hold, but I mean the ball is away, but I think it's a hold. But either way, it still would end up being a first down. And that's 122 penalties. That's the 11th penalty of the night for Chicago. That's 122 yards, and that's really why this game is as close as it is, because Chicago has been really undisciplined, even if one or two of those calls have been shaky. McCarthy takes a snap, looking, firing deep to one down the right-hand side. Caught! Touchdown! Aaron Jones with a big touchdown, and Minnesota takes its first lead of the night as J.J. McCarthy connects with Aaron Jones, 27 yards, and Chicago is silent. Chicago is silent right now. You could hear a pin drop. It was Sewell in coverage who was unable to track Aaron Jones, who just put a nice little shimmy, able to get Sewell a little bit of more of a wheel fade route. And McCarthy sees it immediately, able to toss it. Jones into the end zone. Sewell unable to stop him. Nobody able to get over. Minnesota going to go for two again. 3 plays, 50 yards. Naylor going to come in motion, trips to the far side, takes a snap. McCarthy looking to the right, fires. Good. Adam Thielen into the end zone. 2-point conversion is good. And Minnesota takes a 3-point lead. It is now 20-17. Vikings. As this Vikings offense has really come alive here in this second half. And the Bears should really have just put this away by this point. And instead the Vikings have the lead. So Kevin O'Connell's team takes the lead. And McCarthy's showing some moxie as he seems to get really settled in. Meanwhile, at his own sideline. Wow. McCarthy in the second half, 5 of 9 for 65 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick six. But his team, importantly, now has the lead. And as much as we said credit to the Bears defense throughout a large part of this game, you have to credit the Vikings defense too, as they've held the Bears to absolutely nothing in this second half. So now it's on Caleb Williams to try and get something back. Bears, -9 yards in this fourth quarter. Minnesota, 96. Kick is away. 9:46 to go in the game. Going to be fielded in the end zone for a touchback. So the Bears going to take back over from the 35-yard line. So it's wild right now. Of course, Adam Thielen recently traded back to Minnesota in a trade with the Panthers. They're showing him doing some on-season workouts with J.J. McCarthy. I think they were saying just out of convenience, considering both were in Minnesota. Williams under center, tight end in motion, far side. Williams hard count, tight end going back in motion. Handoff, running to the right is DeAndre Swift. Going to get stopped at the line of scrimmage. And this Vikings defense is going after it. Number 61 in there on the stop for the Vikings that time. And he just stood him up. That was Jalen Redmond. And this defense holding firm. Chicago in the second half. Punt, missed field goal, punt. And this Ben Johnson offense is just stalled out completely. 9:10 left to go in the game. Running back lined up to Caleb Williams is right. Again, working from their own 35. Takes a snap. Looking left. Looking over the middle. Steps up in the pocket. Fires over the middle. Complete to Rome Odunze there. It's going to be good for 12 and a first down. Up to their own 47-yard line. So Chicago picks up a first down. And the crowd's starting to get back into it a little bit. As the second-year quarterback and wide receiver find their connection. Nice little sidearm throw. Sees him a little bit late, but Odunze still open. So, yeah, nice from Odunze there. Caleb Williams going under center once again. Single back is still Swift. Fakes the handoff. Has to scamper around. Escapes Van Ginkel. Continues to roll right. Gets contained this time. And Caleb Williams going to step out of bounds here before he throws the ball away. So basically takes his own sack. Javon Hargrave effectively will get credited for that sack, but I think big credit to Van Ginkel for shepherding him out there and ultimately know he was open as Caleb Williams tried to throw that ball away. It's going to be a loss of 4 there, and it's going to make it 2nd down and 14. The right toe of Williams out of bounds. So Williams once again out of the shotgun. Running back lined up to his left. And this Bears offense has been anemic. Vikings showing blitz. They're going to bring 4. Caleb Williams pumps, fires down the right-hand side for Dunze, but it's off the hands, was a little bit high. It was Jackson in coverage. Theo Jackson, I believe Jeff Okuda may have also been there. Actually, no, I believe it was Isaiah Rogers in coverage there with Theo Jackson. Yeah, Isaiah Rogers does a really nice job getting back. It is going to be Theo Jackson who ultimately will get the pass breakup, but just out of the hands of Rome Odunze. Upstairs, unable to come away with it, and it's another 3rd and long. 3rd and 14 here. Vikings bringing pressure. Williams looking to his left, and he just misses him entirely. And again, the Vikings get another stop. What is happening here? If you're Chicago, you should have this game under wrap. It's been penalties has completely killed your momentum here. And again, Brian Flores probably get another shot at a head coaching gig. At some point, punt is blocked. The punt gets blocked. It will still get away, and it's going to still take a bit of a Chicago roll, but it's only going to go as far as the 33. It was Wilson again, who's been in for Blake Cashman. Number 55, Eric Wilson, who checked into the game for Blake Cashman, who has been, I think, a real difference maker, and now gets a blocked punt as well. Great work from him as he's having a monster game as he gets that right hand out and gets it on the football. And this Vikings defense is absolutely stifling right now. So 1st and 10, Minnesota. Can Minnesota convert again here? Working from their 32, handoff up the middle, and running right, gonna find some room up for the 40, where the 45 still on his feet, up over midfield. It's Jordan Mason. 20 yards for the Vikings running back as Chicago just continues to fall apart here. The defense, which was so good to start the game, Minnesota has finally started to find a rhythm. They've been able to establish this run game, and that's really started to open up everything else. Jordan Mason especially has been running really, really well in this. And that's been absolutely huge. 1st and 10 from the 49 of Chicago. McCarthy under center. Hands it off to Mason. Gonna get back to the line. This time he's gonna be stopped at the line of scrimmage. Jarrett in there on the tackle for Chicago, as was Odeyingbo. So that'll make it 2nd down and 10. Last two, the run game has been the difference here. For the last 2 drives, Minnesota averaging 10 yards a carry, where they were only averaging 3 beforehand. And Dennis Allen trying to find an answer as we go 6:05, 6:04, 6:03, remaining to go in the game. Thielen in motion in the near side. McCarthy having to deal with 5-man rush, going to throw to his right complete. TJ Hawkinson, that's going to be good for 9 yards before he's knocked out of bounds. Tremaine Edmonds going to be the one who ends up bringing him down. But again, it still makes it a third and very manageable here for a Minnesota offense that is finding its rhythm. McCarthy tonight, 11 of 18 for 122, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception, as he's, again, finally found some form here. Found a rhythm against a defense that's hassled him, that's harassed him all night long. 3rd and 1 now, 5.5 minutes left to go in this football game. And it's going to be a big moment for this defense. Showing blitz. Hawkinson in motion in the near side. Going to be a handoff up the middle. Aaron Jones picks up the first down. Picks up 2 yards. And that'll be enough. And Minnesota keeps the drive alive here. And clock just going to keep chipping away here. And that's going to put Chicago in a really interesting spot here, where they're going to quickly be in danger. 4th quarter yards, Chicago, -1 yards. Minnesota, 126. Under center is McCarthy. Single back is Aaron Jones. Going to be a heavy set. You got Justin Jefferson, 1-on-1. Still going to be a handoff up the middle. Jones going to fall forward. He's going to pick up about 4 yards there. And this Minnesota offense continuing to chug along. Actually, it's going to be 3 there. So 2nd and 7. Yeah, I mean, this game has just gotten turned on its head so quickly, it feels like. I mean, you know, it's hard. I mean, and it's been good. Working from now inside the Chicago 35-yard line is McCarthy. Going to fake the handoff to Jones. I think he's going to hit him on a little bit of a flat. It's good. It's going to be enough for the first down. Jones going to be doing a nice job, and he's going to pick up 12, doing a nice little tightrope before being ushered out of bounds by Noah Sewell. But again, it's just this Minnesota offense has continued to find momentum. And yeah, Aaron Jones was just wide open. I think he might get spotted back. It might only end up being a pickup of 7 yards. But that was just an easy completion for McCarthy. 3:52 left to go in the game. Jordan Mason checked back in. Naylor in motion. Going to be a handoff to Mason up the middle. He's going to be met in the backfield this time. It's going to be a loss of 2. Sweat in there on the tackle. And was part of the large reason the Bears got that push forward to pick up that tackle for loss. As the Bears edge rusher plowing through 2 Minnesota tight ends. Number 44 for Chicago also in there in the stop, Noah Sewell. But Minnesota has already chewed 4 minutes off the clock with this 7-play, 44-yard drive. McCarthy in the gun. Check at the line. Play clock winding down, though, so he's got to do it quick. 5 seconds left on the clock. Running back lined up to his left. Bears showing blitz. They'll bring 5. McCarthy throws to his right, complete to Jefferson. He's going to scamper over the 20. He's going to end up picking up about 9 yards there as he gets down to the 14. And again, the Vikings just doing a good job. They're putting the ball in the right spots and keeping going here as Kevin O'Connell continues to call a better and better football game. And I am nervously now checking Sleeper to see how many points Justin Jefferson has, because I can only afford him to score about 4 more points and I will lose. So I really hope that doesn't happen. And I don't know why I'm still using commentator voice, but we are, because I am concerned. So I should have played. I played Josh Allen. I played the right Hall quarterback. We're good there. But we do have Chicago's second timeout. They only have 1 remaining, as we have 2 minutes and 59 seconds left to go in this football game. And I imagine they're going to hand it off here again to Mason. Going to be out of the gun, though. They're going to spread 3 wide receivers to the near side. To McCarthy's left. Thielen going to come in motion. And it's going to be kept by McCarthy to the 10, to the 5. McCarthy into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota! As a ballsy read option interception for Minnesota means they go up 9 on the 14-yard rushing touchdown for J.J. McCarthy, as the Vikings have come storming back to now take a 2-possession lead. And Dennis Allen is sitting there saying, I had this guy under wraps. What in the hell is going on? And I'm spitting everywhere. Kick is up. Kick is good. And Minnesota has a 10-point lead. Wow. And so J.J. McCarthy has now arrived. And he's hung in there. Yeah. It's just great work from McCarthy. Great block from Hawkinson down the field as well. Wow. Kevin O'Connell is hyped. Kevin O'Connell celebrating on the field. He's like, Kevin O'Connell was inside the 10. It's a big move from McCarthy on that read option. Just has a great pull. Basically runs straight through. And that's the third straight touchdown drive for the Minnesota Vikings. Wow. Like, the Bears are in complete control of this game. Jesus. 164 yards of offense for the Vikings in this fourth quarter. The Bears are still at -1. And this ball is going to be kicked out the end zone for a touchback. I think that field goal was good as well. Wow. Yeah, I mean, since that pick six, I feel like that pick six should have been the difference for this Minnesota offense. But I feel like J.J. McCarthy has still stayed super composed, and he showed that. And the Bears defense is just falling apart. I mean, they've got no support from their offense. But Caleb Williams going to be in shotgun here. Running back going to be in motion to his left. Vikings potentially showing pressure here. They're going to drop out only rush 4. Williams looking, firing over the middle deep. That's a great catch by Cole Kmet. As Cole Kmet manages to corral it. And of course, Chicago with only one timeout. And yeah, that's a great catch by Kmet as he managed to knock it down with one arm. Williams under center, going to be dropping, looking to his left, firing towards the end zone. Going to be overthrowing DJ Moore, who he had wide open. And that's going to make it 2nd down and 10. Just completely missed him. He is wide open. We'll take a look at the catch by Cole Kmet again, and that was huge. But, I don't know. Caleb Williams, 19 of 32 for 190. Vikings showing blitz here on 2nd and 10. Williams looking right. Continues to look right. Fires short. Going to overthrow DeAndre Swift again. Caleb Williams has just been overthrowing people this entire back bit. Oh my Lord. This is an insane collapse. 2 minutes, 21 seconds, 3rd down and 10. Williams takes a snap, 5-man rush for the Vikings. Williams looking, fires over the middle, and it's overthrown again. There is a flag thrown. There did seem to be some contact between a DB and a receiver. Waiting to hear the call. Illegal contact called on the Vikings. So it'll be a 5-yard penalty and a 1st down And the reception from the Chicago fans is not very happy. As Hargrave got his hand up, and that's what led to that ball sailing. As Murphy was holding the Dunze pretty much the whole way, and Vikings once again now showing blitz. 1st and 10 now, working from the Minnesota 29-yard line. Running back lined up to Williams' right. Play clock winding down. 1. They do get the snap off, and they're bringing pressure. Williams, man in his face, can complete. No, it's going to be knocked away. How that's not... As Williams and Adunze both got lit up. I don't understand how... Orlando Pace is going to get called for roughing the passer, I think. That's not roughing the passer. That's not roughing the passer. Come on. That's just a great work from the DB drawing that ball loose. I'm not sure about that hit by Pace. But DJ Moore got absolutely leveled. I think just got the wind knocked out of him. They're saying in my head it's the head and neck and a defensive receiver. It doesn't look like that to me. It looks like he gets him right across the chest. And again, it's again, Caleb Williams got hit hard, as did DJ Moore. I'm not sure I agree with either of those penalty calls, but they are what they are. But I don't know. That was definitely a hospital ball, as Caleb Williams just tried to get rid of it. But DJ Moore still getting attention. Yeah, again, I think he got the wind knocked out of him. But 2 minutes, 12 seconds. Again, DJ Moore still recovering on the sideline. Williams going to be alone in the gun. 2:12 left to go. 1st and 10. Going to be working from the 14 here. 3 wide receivers to the far side. Williams checking at the line. Vikings bringing 4. Williams looking left, stepping up in the pocket, scrambling. Up with a 15 to the 10. Scrambling right to the 5. In for the end zone. There is a flag thrown. It is going to be called a touchdown on the field, but there is a flag. Still waiting to hear what the flag is. Caleb Williams, I think, just about got into the end zone. And it is a penalty on the Vikings, so it is a touchdown. So Bears do a nice job to cut the score. So 27-23 with the extra point pending. And he is definitely in. I don't know. And they're going to call Caleb Williams just short, so we'll go back to 17, but it's going to be first and goal from the 1 inch. Hold on. Why did I open? Why did I open Adobe? Nope. Nope. There we go. So back to 27-17, 2:05 left to go. So they're going to accept the penalty there, which is going to be a difference of about 2 inches. But it'll be first and goal from about 4 inches instead of 8. So 2:05 on the clock. And I feel like if you're the Bears, you still got to hope for an onside kick coming up here. Otherwise, the game is still over. Williams is going to go under center. Man in motion is Moore. Williams takes the toss, going to throw. Touchdown. Rome Odunze into the end zone. And that time, it'll be good for 6 with 2:02 to go. So Odunze picks up the touchdown. Extra point, of course, coming, which is going to be a very crucial extra point. And that missed field goal earlier is going to prove the difference. Hold, snap, kick is good, and it's back to a 3-point game. So Vikings up 3, and with a chance to put this one away. Bears still with 1 timeout. This game is... What is this game? I mean, look, if I was a fan of one of these teams, I feel like I'd be really pissed. More so, actually, no. If I'm a Bears fan, I'm pissed. I'm a Vikings fan. I'm actually not feeling too bad, especially for the first start from J.J. McCarthy. But yeah, still, the job's not done yet, and they're setting off the fireworks. So, but yeah, J.J. McCarthy, 13-20 for 143, 2 touchdowns, an interception, and that big rushing touchdown to take a 10-point lead. And Bears will kick it off here. So if we get past the 2-minute warning, I mean, no matter if we get past the 2-minute warning, a first down will, Bears timeout will still give them enough time to stop the clock. But if you're Cairo Santos, I think if you're not going to be fielding the kickoff, it'll probably be a touchback. Kick is away from Santos. Took a big run up this time. And it's going to be returned here. Smart move here from Minnesota. Carry this out of the end zone. That'll take us to the 2-minute warning. And that's going to burn about 7 seconds off the clock. It's going to take us all the way down to 1:55 as big heads-up move there as he returns the kick from 5 yards deep. And it'll take us to the 2-minute warning with 1:55 left on the clock. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. At this point, I'm just out of steam. Jesus. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, again, I'm just confused. I don't know. I mean, game technically not over yet. Vikings still need a first. It's just been turned on its head. I mean, this isn't Vikings Ravens. Oh, sorry, Vikings at 6 in a second. Heavy personnel for the Vikings. Minute 55, working from their own 26. Hands it off to Jordan Mason, who's going to squeeze up to the 20. It's going to be good for 4 yards there. And that's going to be a timeout. And yeah, big heads up play. So Bears burn their last timeout with a minute 47 left on the clock. Pick up the 3 on first down. Again, first down now officially does end the game, and it's going to be heavy personnel for both sides. I imagine we're going to see more handoffs here to Jordan Mason. Bears 3-15 against the NFC North since 2022. Wow. I mean, still not over yet. And Bears going to load up the line of scrimmage. You're going to roll out in 62. McCarthy up the middle. Mason tackled. No gain. Third down. And Bears really not going to have much more than 20 seconds left on the clock here. As Vikings, I imagine, just going to play conservative here. Put both hands on the football. So we'll see what happens here. I do want to flip over my phone so that way I don't get spoiled. But yeah, 105, 104, 103. Vikings are going to let the play clock run all the way down and burn a timeout with a minute and 2 seconds remaining on the game clock. One sec. All right. Yeah. This is the most confusing game that I've watched in a minute. And it's not like I don't think either side has looked necessarily good. I mean, the defenses have looked good, and I think the Vikings rushing attack in the second half has been very good. The Bears, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the Bears did. 3rd and 7 here. Still Jordan Mason in the backfield. They're going to hand it off to him running left. Going to go right up the middle. going to go down, and they're going to let the play clock run down once again. I imagine it's going to be 15 seconds left, and we're going to see some chaos here at the end. It is going to be 4th and 5, so we're going to see the punt unit. We've seen one punt block today, so I'll put it out into the ether. Could we see another? But yeah, it's going to be, I think it's going to be it's going to be 15 and a half seconds if we want to be technical. Maybe 6. Yeah, it's going to be 15 and a half, 16 and a half seconds on the clock. J.J. McCarthy, second player with multiple passing touchdowns in Vikings debut. And the first man in 1961 against the Chicago Bears was Fran Tarkenton. And so will be 16 seconds left on the clock. The Vikings offense has done everything they've had to, especially in this fourth quarter. And now it's on the special teams and the defense for one last hold. So you need at least 2 good plays left. One on the punt. You need good punt protection here. And you need a good final play coverage. 16 seconds left. Bears going to load up the line. Going to go for broke for this punt block. Actually, no, they're not. They're surprisingly going to keep guys on the wings. But they're going to load up the line. And here they come. They're not going to be close enough to get a block. Good coverage as well from Minnesota. It's going to be 9 seconds left. And here we go. Welcome to rugby. So last chance for the Bears. Is there any magic left in the tank? Caleb Williams, 20 of 34 for 191, a touchdown, 58 rushing yards, and a rushing touchdown. But 9 seconds left. J.J. McCarthy, 13 of 20 for 143, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 1 rushing touchdown. Hasn't done a lot today, but I think did a good job in the second, did a great job adjusting. And so here we go. Bears in full-on shell defense. And here it comes. So welcome to laterals. And the snap is bad. There's a flag thrown. So it gets even worse. And DJ Moore going to get knocked out of bounds after a gain of 1. I imagine this is going to be an illegal formation in Chicago. So the insult to injury, I think that's the 12th or the 13th penalty against the Bears today. It's going to be an illegal shift. So the Bears lose 4 seconds and 5 yards. So needing a miracle, 12th penalty of the game, 127 penalty yards for the Chicago Bears. And that's going to be something they have to change in the future. Vikings set to only rush 2. Everybody else is back at least 15 yards. Williams in the gun will take the snap, and this will be the game. Throws it to Adunze, cut up to 25, lateraled. Going to be DJ Moore, who's going to lateral, get rid of it. Monangai is not going to be able to secure it, and that will be the ball game. The Minnesota Vikings come from behind to defeat the Chicago Bears by a final score, Minnesota 27, Chicago 24, and J.J. McCarthy in his debut is able to knock off Ben Johnson's Bears in what is one of the most confusing games that I have witnessed in a while. That was ugly. It was messy, but ultimately, it's Kevin O'Connell's team. It's J.J. McCarthy's team. It is that. What's the defensive coordinator's name? It's the Vikings defense. Brian Flores. It's Brian Flores and his defense who end up getting it done. And that'll do it. Vikings pick up their 6th straight victory against the Chicago Bears. But thank you for joining me. I'm going to sign off and maybe go take another shower because that's how I feel after this game. But big shout out to the defense on both sides of the ball. They both balled out. Obviously, the Vikings offense clutched up late. And that is your difference makers. Definitely stay tuned for streams in the future. Definitely like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Always appreciate that. And I will see you next time. Have a good one.